Welcome into the Slater Family Ice Arena. It's a day of firsts around here in Bowling Green because Augustana is playing their first CCHA matchup for record against Bowling Green today. Their first time playing in the Slater Family Ice Arena as well, and the first time Augustana is playing Bowling Green hockey today and at all, actually. And another first for the broadcasters today is Lucas Kleinmeyer is my color guy today, the director of the Falcon Media Sports Network. Lucas, thanks for being here with us today, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, Ben, I'm very excited. It's been a long time coming. We haven't.
Yeah, it really
I
is.
can't believe that obviously this is your sophomore year. I'm a junior this year, and first time you and I have been on the call together,
Yeah.
and I'm so happy it's making it my hockey debut. We should have going here.
If I had to make a guess, it would be at a women's basketball game, hockey game, something like that. But it's hockey, and I'm very excited for it. You chose a real good game to come on because this is going to be a very tough opponent for Bowling Green, the number 2 team in the CCHA. You can think about their number 2 seed as much as you want because of the points percentage. They haven't played a lot of games this season, but they're a pretty formidable team. Augustana hockey is, and it's going to be a good test for Bowling Green this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And Augustana is a very good team, and the lack of history between the two programs leads you to say that you really don't know what's going to happen here tonight. There's not been a lot of history between these two programs, so you don't really know how these teams are going to line up in. For Bowling Green, they don't want to get back in that winning streak a little bit. Had that 8-game unbeaten run ended against Ferris State, had that 4-3 loss, and a big key to that is trying to get the puck out of the net.
Certainly, and we'll talk about Augustana a little bit first because, we'll talk about Bowling Green second. Augustana, as we mentioned, this is the first time Bowling Green's played them in their home arena, so it's going to be the first time for Augustana in this barn, only the third year of them being a D1 team. They still cannot compete for the NCAA title. They cannot compete in the Frozen Four, but they can compete for the Mason Cup in the CCHA. As we mentioned, they're second. And what's impressive to me about how they've played this season is how many different guys on their team can be deadly. So many guys, looking all the way down to about 9 or 10 guys in, have 4 goals plus. A lot of them have a ton of points. You're looking at 7 guys with 10 plus total points on the season. A lot of different guys can kill you. And even looking at the lines as well, it's pretty spread out where the scoring is. Not a whole lot of single players to look at when we're going to address this Augustana team.
Yeah, Peyton Matsui is a really player that really sticks out to me. 5 goals, 11 assists on this season. He's a very good player for this Vikings team. Brett Meerman is someone I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about as well. 5 goals, 10 assists as well. 57 shots on the year as well, which currently leads the Vikings as well. 2 players that you have to really keep your eye on this night as well.
Certainly, and the rating is something that I always like to look at, and in the case of Augustana, it's exemplary. I mean, plus 77 rating across all of the players. Nobody in a negative rating until you get to the bottom third of the team, and a lot of those guys are in, 13, 11, single-digit games played as well, and the ratings at the top are tremendous. Peyton Matsui, as you mentioned a second ago, with a plus 15. Hayden Hennon as well with a plus 10, a plus 9 for Simon Falk. A lot of different guys that can kill you in a lot of different ways. A low penalty team as well, only 77 total penalties this season, and a high blocking team with one of the best goaltenders in the CCHA, Josh Kotai, who's been absolutely fantastic this season.
Yeah, started 19 games for Augustana this season, 32 goals allowed. That's a 1.68 goals against average. He's made 548 saves this season, has a 12-5-2 record and goal for the Vikings. He's been sensational for them this season. It's a Vikings team that they don't really concede a lot of goals. They're just giving them under 2 goals per game at 1.9.
Yeah, and it's a Bowling Green team that's struggled as of late with the offense, so that'll be our segue into talking about Bowling Green here for a minute. If you've kept up with Bowling Green hockey, you'll know 3-0 and a 3-1 sweep over Lake Superior State at the turn of the year. And then you turned around and played Bemidji State at home 2 weeks ago, and it was a slightly disappointing weekend, even though Bowling Green played real well. It was an overtime finish in both, a win in one and a shootout loss in the other, but you took 3 points on that weekend. And then last weekend, it was a weekend that you thought you should have got 6, and you got 3 out of it. Ferris State toasted you in the second game for 3 points in the CCHA, some that you didn't take. And that Bowling Green offense has been pretty good as of the last couple of games, but the defense has taken a step back, and I think they're going to need to put them together today.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, makes for entertaining games nonetheless. High scoring, but they've given up a lot of goals. Obviously, Christian Stover in goal was playing sensational for Bowling Green, but he has given up a lot of goals as of late. In the last game against Ferris State, Cole Moore got the nod in between the pipes. And, Cole Moore's a player that's been up and down probably a little bit this season. Stover has kind of taken that #1 spot in front of the net. And this is a team I mentioned a little bit at the top of the broadcast, but they just need to figure out how to keep the puck out of the net. 14 goals allowed in the last 4 games. That's just not a recipe for success for any sort of hockey team, any division, any level whatsoever. They'll have to do that and also hold off Augustana here tonight and also put the ball in the
And a lot of that defense is going to stem from that first line of defensemen, as I've harped on all season, and one that's dominating minute play. I'll get to that in a second. But Gustav Stjernberg and Dalton Norris, 2 of the highest scoring defensemen and 2 of the best defensive defensemen. They're staples on the penalty kill, staples on the power play. Last weekend, they both had 24 minutes played in the first game. Dalton Norris only had 21 in the second game, but Gustav Stjernberg had 27 minutes played in the second game against Ferris State, making it almost a full game of play for Gustav Stjernberg last weekend. He's been absolutely fantastic this season, stepping into a star role. You know, that first line of defense is going to have to be spectacular the rest of the way, and they're going to help out Christian Stover a lot.
They will. Norris and Stjernberg both play heavy minutes for this Falcons team, and you mentioned it a little bit to me when you were helping me out with this Falcons team. Is Stjernberg kind of sets the tone for Bowling Green defensively as well. He's kind of that bruiser a little bit, likes to mix up a bit. He did get a little bit of penalty trouble early this season, but as of late, he's been perfect. No penalties really in the last couple of games, and he's really kept himself and kept the team out of trouble. But mentioned as well, him and Norris are going to have to perform pretty big if Bowling Green want a chance to beat Augustana for the first time.
He's done a great job. Christian Stover as well. We can't talk too much about him. .944 save percentage and just under 2 goals allowed. For a while there, he was the hottest and the best goaltender in the NCAA. Now he's still just the hottest and one of the best in the CCHA as well, looking to continue that streak today. So we'll move over to my favorite, and I'm sure Lucas's favorite part of our pregame is pick the stick. Lucas Kleinmeyer always gets the first pick. He had all season. We made the addendum that he's not allowed to choose Ryan O'Hara today. So Lucas,
yes, I did have a little bit of a streak of picking Ryan O'Hara a little bit, and I get it. But Ryan O'Hara's been playing sensational since the new year. It's turned over. But I'm going with Brody Waters today, and yes, people listening probably think I'm a casual, and you know what? That can be fair enough. But Brody Waters, 14 goals, 5 assists, 3 goals in his last 4 games. He's been amazing for this team this season. You kind of look at what he's done this year for Bowling Green, looking a little bit at the charts. +4, scored in every series since MSU. 3-goal streak and 8 goals in his last 8 games. I think he's going to need to get one, but also I think more times than not when he scores, Bowling Green usually most of the time ends up winning.
Definitely, and you know, we're going to round out that first line with Tyler Kavlitz, our production director, and myself. Tyler chose Ben Duran, which is a great pick. I didn't realize until doing my research the last couple of days that he is on a 5-game point streak. Ben Duran is. He's the centerman on the first line. It's back to that first line of O'Hara, Duran, and Waters. And mentioning Ryan O'Hara, we have to mention my pick the stick, which is going to be Ryan O'Hara today. It's rare that he falls that far to me, but I'm going to get to pick Ryan O'Hara today. He's scored a point in every single series this season besides Ohio State. He's got 4 goals, 3 assists in the last 2 series, and he's got 7 goals in the last 7 games since he scored his first against RIT on December 29th. That's my pick, Ryan O'Hara. You chose Brody Waters. Tyler Kavlitz chose Ben Duran, and Holden Ruck, our board operator back in the Cooling Center today, chose Christian Stover. He's going to have another high-powered pick there with Stover, who will start with 3 points and lose them for every goal he gives up. You know, Augustana is frightening for their offense, but it's also a huge thing for them to keep the puck out of the back of the net. So I think that's a very good pick, Christian Stover today. Lucas, if you had to choose who you think is going to win our pick the stick today.
Well, obviously I'd be biased and I'd pick Waters because of how consistent he's been all season, but my boy is Ryan O'Hara as well, and I think you have a very good chance of winning pick the stick today. O'Hara, since 2025, since the new year, he's been incredible, and you mentioned the stats he's had and the current streak he's on, and in point all series besides Ohio State this season. He's one of the captains on this team, and he's just been sensational this season. Left wing, really just a lethal offensive player for Bowling Green, so dangerous, and I really think he's found his form, but he's also just found his confidence, I think, this season as well, and I think that's going to continue throughout the rest of the year. I mean, he also can score, but he also assists. 15 assists on the season as well, leads the team. I mean, that's pretty good for a captain and one of the leaders for Bowling Green.
And one with his last point, just surpassed his point total from last season. As we know, mid through February, he unfortunately was injured, didn't play the rest of the season, but he's already before that point passed his season total and nearing in on his career high in points for his season, goals and assists as well. Ryan O'Hara certainly a player to watch. We have the starting lineups here. Lucas will read Bowling Green's in a second. I'll read Augustana's right now. Starting the second line, Peyton Matsui, Luke Mobley down center, and Quinn Rudrud down the right wing. 2 seniors and a junior, and the captain, Luke Mobley, with the alternate captain, Peyton Matsui. The defensive lineup's going to be Owen Baumgartner and Hayden Hennon on the defensive end, both sophomores and pretty high-scoring players themselves on the right and the left. And Josh Kotai is going to be in the goal for Augustana. We mentioned his stats earlier, but a 1.6 goals allowed and a 945 save percentage. Pretty comparable stats to Bowling Green's Christian Stover.
Yeah, indeed. And we mentioned a little bit with Augustana. Matsui is going to be a player that I'm really looking forward to watching. Hennon as well, defenseman, but also 2 goals and 9 assists as well. He's been impressive as well, and Bowen as well, 6 goals, 6 assists as well. I think it's a very good Augustana team, and looking forward to seeing how they match up against PG.
Certainly, Lucas, why don't you walk us through, for the first time in your career, the Bowling Green starting lineup?
It'd be my pleasure. Left wing, Ryan O'Hara per the norm, and center Ben Duran. At right wing, you have Brody Waters as well, so no really surprises there. And left defense, you have Ben Wozni, and then also at right defense, you have Tim Passanen as well. And then at goal, you have Christian Stover. So a little bit different with the left and right defense. I'm sure you can tell us a little bit more, Ben, that Norris and Strumberg not getting the start, but I'm sure they won't be out for that long.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty even, balanced starting lineup for Bowling Green. You know, the high offensive forwards and the pretty defensive defensemen. I know that's a pretty easy thing to say, but only 6 points between Wozni and Passanen, and all of them assists this season. So they're starting with the stay-at-home guys, and they're starting with the rushers on the first line. I think that's going to be a pretty good mix-up for Bowling Green today, and I think it's going to match up well against Augustana, who's got their best forwards offensively and their best defensemen defensively as well. So probably waiting to just get the puck early and hold on to it as long as you can, Lucas.
Indeed, and I think a fast start for Bowling Green really helped them this game. Getting out to a lead is a lot better playing hockey than playing behind, but also you can say that in any sport as well. You like playing with a lead rather than playing from behind. I think the lineup tells a lot what Coach Dennis Williams thinks of at least his attack at the left wing, center, and right wing with O'Hara, Durant, and Waters. He's going to roll out the first stringers for all 3 of them, at least at the start, because he wants to get that fast start, get that first goal, get the momentum on your side, get this crowd into the game so you can play the rest of the game with the lead and try to build on it.
Young coaching staff as well for Augustana. Garrett Raboyne in his second season. Taylor Nelson, his assistant, also in his second season. The first season for the other 2 assistant coaches, Blake Hietala and Brady Ferner. And then the director of operations, Brad Edmondson, who got Augustana today to their first game in the Slater Family Ice Arena in the city of Bowling Green, the first game they've ever played in the state of Ohio. Lucas Kleinmeyer and myself, Ben Korak, excited to call it in a few moments. You are listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Underwriting sponsorships on Northwest Ohio's community radio station are now available. Get your business's information out to the local community and show your support for 88.1 FM. For more information regarding underwriting sponsorship at WBGU, visit bgfalconmedia.com. Thanks for your continued support of everything we do here at WBGU 88.1 FM, Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
My name is Jamal Johnson, number 6, running back in the senior, and here are my Falcon 4 favorite candies. First, we have Skittles, Sour Patch Kids, Reese's Pieces, and Hershey Kisses. And these are my favorite because when you're at Halloween and you dump out that bag, these are the best Halloween candies to pull out. So those are my favorites.
Looking for a BG Athletics discussion show? Check out The Swoop, where a rotating cast of Falcon Media Sports Network co-hosts talk everything BGSU athletics. New episodes are available every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
For over 70 years, WBGU 88.1 FM has provided local news, sports, and entertainment to Northwest Ohio. As a non-commercial radio station, WBGU relies on the generous contributions of local businesses in the form of underwriting. For more information regarding underwriting sponsorship at WBGU, visit bgfalconmedia.com.
Hi, my name is Belle Abbey from BGSU Volleyball, and these are my Falcon 4 favorite movies. Number 1 is Shrek, because it's iconic. Love Actually, great rom-com. Step Brothers, also iconic. And Princess Bride.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Hi, I'm Trina Lisa Vering. I'm a singer and songwriter from Copenhagen, Denmark. I have a very important message for y'all. Du kan bygge broer i din egen hjerne, eller fremelske global fred og kærlighed, alt sammen på en og samme tid, ved at lytte til The World Music Show søndage fra 6 til 8 p.m. på WBGU 88,1. Den kan også streames fra bgfalconmedia.com.
That's right. You can build bridges in your own brain and promote global peace and love all at the same time, just by listening to the World Music Show on Sundays from 6 to 8 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 and streaming at bgfalconmedia.com. BG Authors is a campus organization dedicated to highlighting authors connected to the university. BGSU has produced some amazing authors, including Beth Macy, James Baldwin, and Tim Conway, to name a few. Visit bgauthors.com and subscribe to the blog that regularly updates on new releases, classics, non-BGSU authors, and other features such as book versus movie. That's BG Authors at bgauthors.com.
On November 1st, 2024, BGSU men's soccer defeated nationally ranked Western Michigan for the first time in a decade. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer was on the call on the WBGU PBS YouTube channel.
History has been made here at Cocker Stadium for the first time in 37 regular season matches for the Western Michigan Broncos, and for the first time in a decade, the Bowling Green Falcons take down the Western Michigan Broncos by a final score of 3-0 here at Cocker Stadium. Wow!
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Hi, I'm Peyton O'Malley with women's soccer here at BG, and my Falcon 4 pregame rituals is going to Trop, praying, singing songs in the locker room, and our mental prep on the field.
Hey BGSU students, this is your opportunity to host your very own radio show or podcast. Get involved with Falcon Radio and quickly learn the skills you need to produce your own program. In 30 minutes or less, you'll be armed with the information you need to operate studio equipment, put on your own live shows, or recorded content. Students from all disciplines are encouraged to get involved and take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to use world-class facilities to create your own podcast. Falcon Radio, for Falcons, by Falcons.
On October 26, 2024, BGSU cornerback Jordan Oladokin snagged 2 interceptions, including a pick 6, in BG's 41-26 win over rival Toledo. Falcon Media Sports Network's Reese Patricus was on the call on Falcon Radio.
Minute 13 left to go. Ball picked off. Jordan Oladokin. He's got Green in front of him. Jordan Oladokin. 10, 5, touchdown Bowling Green. Ball 41-26, Bowling Green wins this year's edition of the Battle of I-75 up here in the Glass Bowl.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Hi, I'm Jaden Frigerio on the women's soccer team, and I'm doing my Falcon 4 favorite places in BG. First would have to be Meyer, second would have to be Juniper, third would have to be the beach, and number 4 would be the fires behind the business building. Thanks.
Ben Korak, Lucas Kleinmeyer here from the Falcon Media Sports Network. For all BGSU sports news and updates, go to bgfalconmedia.com or BG_FMSN on Twitter, and the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel for our broadcast, rebroadcasts, and for our highlight packages, which we will have for this game against Augustana as well. The first time Augustana has played here in the Slater Family Ice Arena. The first time Bowling Green can possibly get a win today if they can complete it. And the first broadcast with Ben Korak and Lucas Kleinmeyer. I'm excited, Lucas. We're dropping puck in a few moments.
We're making all sort of history here today. First time Falcons Vikings squaring off all time. First time in the state of Ohio, like you mentioned in our pregame. First time you and I sharing the headset with one another, and looking forward to this one, man. I'm fired up for this game, and like I mentioned before in the pregame, Falcons need a fast start.
13-7-2, 5-3 in the CCHA for Augustana. Bowling Green 12-8-3, 8-5-3 in the CCHA, and it feels like they should have had another win on that after the Ferris State game last week, and it just feels like they should have had a couple more points in the CCHA after the Bemidji State weekend. So a couple of things left on the table for Bowling Green, but they chase a way to knock out the second team in the CCHA as they sit in third. This one stays on sides as it gets off the stick of O'Hara. Waters goes into the corner and tries to force it away. Back up to the blue line with Augustana. Passenden will force it back in, and it'll be chased by Waters behind the goal. In the O-zone for the Falcons, still trying to hold possession for the first time in this game. It's Duran. Duran centers it, taken away by O'Hara. Back up to Passenden. Passenden with a shot in, and dropping down to a knee was Waters as he tried to get dirty down in there and force the puck into the back of the net. It gets out. Big hit by the Falcons, but turns it over to Augustana. Augustana the dump and chase. Passenden gets there first and looks for another white jersey. He'll dump it to the near side as he can't find one. Meerman with the puck now. Takes it to the left wing corner. And he gets tied up there with a referee and a Falcon. Durant fans on this one. Waters lays out to get it outside of the zone. Augustana with the puck now.
Oh, good pass.
Peyton Matsui with a good pass into the slot, but nobody there to fill it home cleanly, and the Falcons will take it out of the zone.
Yeah, first big test a little bit from Christian Stover there. Stover came up big.
And that's an icing against Bowling Green, so we'll get the first stoppage of the game with 18:54 left to play in the first period. Saw the entirety of that shift from Peyton Matsui, Luke Mobley, and Quinn Rudrud, who's probably the premier line. 16 points for Matsui, 13 for Mobley, and 7 for Rudrud. That's going to be the one to look for if I had to guess.
Indeed, and both goaltenders already, Stover and Kotai, both getting an early save here.
Tipped up off the glass and it leaves play, so we'll get another whistle. You know, Lucas, as I just saw them sat down, Michelle Gardner, the new head coach of BGSU softball, which we'll have a preview for in the next couple of weeks, starting their season on February 7th. And that leads us into talking about the crowd here in the Slater Family Ice Arena, even though BGSU men's basketball is playing against Toledo, just 100 yards or so from here. Exciting game there.
Yeah, busy night in Bowling Green athletics. Got men's basketball, like you mentioned, at the Stroh Center, just right next door, and you got big hockey game here tonight. Then tomorrow you got the women's basketball team traveling up to Toledo, take on the Rockets at Savage Arena. So busy weekend for BGSU athletics.
In the circle again, it'll be Joey Del Greco, third line center, a pretty good player, been on Augustana actually only this year. He is a freshman out of Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Jaden Grant with the shot in, and that one's quickly gloved by Kotai. It was a good shot from Grant, a wrister from the slot, and it's held on to by the sophomore goaltender.
Yeah, I like that shot selection there from Grant, trying to put that one near the top left shelf of that one, but nice early attempt, nice couple of looks early for Bowling Green.
Grant will go to the wheel. Foe and looks to be Adam Zonka, his forward line with Sternberg and Norris, the defensive line. Foe gets his stick on the puck. It's in front, but taken away by Brett Meerman, who takes it up the right wing now into the neutral zone. And Sternberg will settle it down. Good pass to the near side to Zonka. Zonka with the puck. He'll wing it across. Onsides to Foe, and actually offsides as Foe gets his stick on that one and gets it blown away. I thought he had his skate on the blue line, but he must have just been a little bit too forward.
Yeah, it looked like, I honestly agree here. It looked like his skate was on the blue line, but you know, Foe's been a little bit up and down this year, been up and down in his performances, a little bit inconsistencies, and for Bowling Green and head coach Dennis Williams, they want him to be consistent. They want him feeling his best and most confident moving forward.
Not a lot of shots on goal so far, but we are only about a minute and a half into the first period of Augustana and Bowling Green. Scardina puts a big hit on, tries to force the puck free, kept in the zone by Eric Parker. That one is going to be one that Augustana remembers as they take the puck outside of the zone into neutral ice. A little bit slow there was Hunter Bischoff, who I believe was the one that wore that hit. Well, that's going to be something to remember for sure.
Yeah, it was a pretty good hit there from Scardina. And then the other way, you see Augustana there trying to get Bowling Green out there in 2-on-2, and that pass was just a little bit too far there for the Viking attacker.
67-59, Toledo leads Bowling Green in the Stroh Center. Tune in to Falcon Radio on bgfalconmedia.com to listen to, I believe it's Tyler Kavlitz and Artie Abrego tonight.
Yes, sir.
On the call there in the Stroh Center. Hopefully Bowling Green can mount a little bit of a comeback with 6.5 minutes left to play in the second half. Slap shot from Sternberg, redirected in front, but is not good enough to get past Kotai and the goal. Another shot in, deflected by Max Martin, but farther away from the goal than toward it. Norris gloves and drops, avoids the hand pass, gets it deep to Martin. Martin at the goal line, working in, pass across, and it's just a little bit long for Sternberg. Sternberg puts a hit on, and he's going to be drawing a penalty, so delayed against Sternberg. Now Bowling Green will get a stick on it, and he will head to the box for the first time in a while.
I will say that is probably commentator's curse on my end,
Yes.
a little bit talking about in the pregame.
No, we talked about it the last game too, and he didn't get one, so I wouldn't beat yourself up. Gustav Sternberg will sit in the box for 2 for head contact. He's not happy about it, but you know what? They really never are.
We like the aggression Bowling Green's playing on offense so far in this game, and that attack stayed alive there. I want to say Scardina hit another big hit to keep that attack alive, and unfortunately, they just couldn't put the puck in the net.
13 penalties now for Sternberg, which is leading Bowling Green, although he does not have the most minutes. When he serves us out, it'll be 29, second to Tommy Passenden, who's up to 31 with a couple of major penalties this season. Bowling Green will go on their first penalty kill. Scardina looks to win the faceoff and get it outside of the zone, but he can't do it. It's to Meerman on the near side, a right winger, shot in. Stover kicks it away. Sternberg sitting in the box for 2, and it's flipped up the ice and out, as this one will be chased down by Hennon. The whistle blows, and I don't know what the call was. Maybe they're judging that somebody on the Bowling Green bench touched it.
I think so. You see Coach Williams there and the Bowling Green bench a little bit confused, but
Williams not happy because they didn't get the icing, didn't waste the time. 15 seconds expired off of the power play. 17:30 left to play in the first. Hayden Hennon with the puck, gets it to the near side and down to the goal line as it skates through the legs of Brett Meerman. Pass across to the right wing. Augustana with the puck still, back to the center. Hayden Hennon again will bring it down to Brett Meerman. Meerman with a shot, gloved by Stover, and he'll opt for a face-off to his left.
Yeah, good strike there from Meerman. Had a lot of room there to strike that one. That was really the real first attack that Augustana's had, that they have a little bit of a patience build up there, not really just a quick on the attack from a Bowling Green attack.
Grant and Emerson on as forwards on this power play. Parker and Breck McKinley on as defensemen. Ivan Korodiak has yet to get a shift, although he is paired up with Eric Parker today. Maybe wanting more experience on the penalty kill, and that's why they elected not to leave the freshman in, understandably. Although he's played pretty well, got his first point in the second game against Ferris State. Face-off won by Bowling Green. Parker with the puck, tries to clear it out, and he got it past Owen Baumgartner, who is guiding the blue line. Quinn Emerson on the forecheck drops back as Augustana with the puck. We'll get it back into neutral zone. Baumgartner will take it up through central. He's mugged by Emerson. Emerson clears it away. Del Greco across to the right wing. Augustana looking in. This one's to Garrett Drotz. Pass back into the left wing now. Pass down deep. Matsui with that one, and this one's kicked away. It was a good pass across, and that could have been a goal with Joey Del Greco on the backside. Another slap shot in front is cleared out by Parker. Out to the blue line again. Peyton Matsui with the puck, the highest scorer for Augustana. Out to the blue line. Another shot in and gloved by Stover and held on to with 16:24 left to play in the first and only 44 seconds left on the penalty kill.
Now going back to that, Ben, Brett McKinley, their right place, right time there, intercept that puck and cleared away from danger momentarily, but another shot there that was easily covered up there from Stover.
Del Greco would have had an easy slap shot goal on the backside if he let that go all the way through. So good placement from McKinley. That's probably why they have him out instead of Karodiak on this penalty kill. Well, Karodiak looks pretty good, if I do say so. Quite comparable to the way Sternberg plays. Maybe not as offensively present, but certainly an energetic young defenseman. Turnover in the zone, taking it back, and it's covered up by Stover as it got a little bit too close to him. Brett Meerman with technically a shot, although it was a pretty wild one.
They had like 3 or almost 4 Falcons there around the puck there as it just kept gradually rolling towards the crease. A little bit of Stover's goal, but luckily enough didn't end up into a goal for BG.
Eamon and Niedermeyer on now as forwards, Wozni and Parker. The defenseman, another faceoff won by Bowling Green. Mace Langus will be the first one back, a left winger on the first line for Augustana. Turning it back around, that's Ruika. Ruika with the puck now, back out to the blue line. A shot in front, taken away by Eric Parker, who's tripped up. That could have been a call there as he got his stick a little bit low in the skates of Eric Parker. Taking it all the way out, full strength as Duran chases this puck in the neutral zone. He wings it way across to Parker. And Bowling Green with a successful penalty kill to start this game. Wozni slaps it into the O zone, but it's held onto easily by Hayden Hennon. His pass leads up into neutral ice. Meerman takes it. Good pass into the slot there to Owen Bond. It's just a little bit deep for him. He can't hold on to it. Callum Gow takes it all the way back into his zone. Could be a turnover here as Ryan O'Hara has the puck now on the near side board. Shot in, McKinley in front. Oh, he could have settled it down there on the backside, but it was a little bit too hot for him. McKinley with the puck, another shot in and taken away easily by Callum Gow. Gow takes it up the near side, looking for a pass. Gets a stick on it as McKinley. And that's going to be a whistle, and they're going to blow play dead. And I believe they're going to send a faceoff down in the zone of Josh Kotai and Augustana.
Indeed they will, and that's another good chance there for Bowling Green that just couldn't find the net there, and they almost made Augustana pay there from that turnover.
14:53 left to play in the first. No score between Bowling Green and Augustana. The Vikings' first game in the Slater Family Ice Arena. Only played 2 games ever against Bowling Green. They were 2 wins last season for Augustana, and Bowling Green looking to get revenge against the number 2 team in the CCHA this season. Brett Foe now in the wheel as Jaden Grant gets kicked out, and the faceoff promptly won by the Vikings. Vikings take it up into center. Pass up, going for a hit is Grant, and he puts a good one on and forces the puck away. Now turned back over. Luke Mobley gets it back out to the blue line. Svednall gets blocked. Zonko with a breakaway. He's got a lot of ice in front of him. Working it in. He's forced away. That's going to be a delayed penalty against Augustana. And now it blows dead. And that's going to be, I believe, a high sticking against Augustana as Zonka's doubled over. Now he's fine. And Quinn Rudrud will head to the box for 2. And I think he'll take that, as that one may have saved a goal for Adam Zonka.
I definitely think it did. Zonka there was on a break there and couldn't get the shot off there, and it looked a little weird that he couldn't wind up for that one, but he was holding a little bit of his face mask area a little bit on that one. So costly penalty from Augustana, but it might have prevented a goal.
Big power play for Bowling Green now. That's the 5th penalty of the season. This one's a deflection in front, and Brody Waters was there, camped out in his location. Max Martin looks for a pass now, but it hits the stick of an Augustana player wearing blue. Dalton Norris on the right wing now. Back out to the blue line is Sternberg. Sternberg will wing it across. Back to Ryan O'Hara playing the point on the power play. Centers the pass. Dalton Norris with the shot. Crossover into the slot and taken away from Brody Waters as he had it down in front. Max Martin had a goal scored in the Ferris State Series. To O'Hara, back to Sternberg. Sternberg with a wrist shot, a rare one on the power play for him. Normally he just takes clappers. Across to Norris. Norris on the right wing. He's pressed down aggressively by Hunter Bischoff, a right winger. This one's wing back around. Sternberg will have to get there to keep it inside the blue line, and he does. 1:10 left to play in the power play. O'Hara with the shot in. Back to Sternberg on the left wing. Back to O'Hara. Another slap shot high and into the chest of Kotai as he'll hold on with about a minute left to play and man advantage for BG.
A little bit of tempers flaring towards the end of that play a little bit. We have Maxwell Martin for BG, getting in a little bit of a friendly conversation with one of the Augustana defensemen.
Max Martin with his goal in the first game against Ferris State snapped a 7-game pointless streak. He was on the power play there, so that's some good press for Willie, putting him out there on the power play line. Ben Wozni with the puck now at the blue line will change direction, and now it'll come back to him on the left wing now. Back across to Foe. Foe fans on the shot. It stays inside the zone, and now it's pressed out by Augustana. Bowling Green will have to get back on sides, but they don't, as it's going to be an offsides, and I think it's going to leave the zone for a second with about 50 seconds left to play in the power play and 13:20 left in the first. Scardina will go to the wheel with Emanen, Duran, and can't tell who the other player is. Possibly, oh, it is Brett Foe. Brett Foe's still out, and that'll be iced down by Augustana. The first, actually, of this power play. Bowling Green's held possession a lot, but not a lot of shots on goal to show for it as they still trail 7-6 in that department to the Vikings. Try to be iced back down. Wozni gloves and keeps it in. Now tries to turn it back over, and here's an odd man rush and a breakaway for Augustana. Taking it down, Joey Del Greco on the left wing, wasting time. He's being pressed up. Svednal knocks it in. Emanen with the puck now, and who will be forechecked up. Another turnover in the zone. Matsui got a stick on it, and it's finally taken back as there's under 10 seconds left to play in the power play, and it looks like Augustana killed it off clean.
Yeah, it was just a little bit sloppy there on the attack there from Augustana. A little bit past too far for Joey Del Greco and couldn't make anything of it, but good defensive play there from BG.
Back to full strength. Jaden Grant pass across, and getting there in the lane is Quinn Rudrud, and that's going to be a hand pass against him as he dropped it a little bit too far forward, and will have to stay on the ice as Augustana will not get a change. 12:22 left to play in the first. Both teams killing off a penalty in front of what is a very impressive crowd to me here in the Slater Family Ice Arena. Bowling Green basketball playing in the Battle of I-75 today in the Stroh Center. 3 minutes left, 77-68. Toledo on top of Bowling Green. See if they can mount a comeback with 3 minutes left. See if Marcus Johnson can put a little bit of that magic on. Spun out of the play. McKinley will chase it all the way back. The first one there will be the Viking, and now finally turned over to Passanen as a hit is pushed on by McKinley. He finishes his checks all the time, pressing there into the boards. Now pass across. Augustana will dump it in. Stover will step out of the goal and field this one and leave it back for Passanen. Passanen into neutral ice. Niedermeyer, good pass across. Duran couldn't get a stick on it and left it back into neutral ice, so the Falcons will have to get back on sides. Karodiak with the hit, turns the puck over, pass across to O'Hara. O'Hara open on the right side, looking for a pass. Now a shot, and it's kicked away by Kotai. Centering pass again, in front was O'Hara, but it didn't land there as Augustana takes it away and up the left wing. Karodiak with the puck now, back to Parker. Parker into the neutral zone. Beautiful pass to O'Hara. O'Hara up the left wing now. He plays on both the right and the left almost indiscriminately. Duran puts a hit on. Augustana with the puck in their own zone, trying to get it out as Bowling Green is not holding possession but kept it in the zone for quite a while. Now Parker finally dumps it in and goes for a wholesale change for Bowling Green. Game slowed down a little bit, but still highly energetic. Sternberg wrists it down, and it'll be stopped by Kotai behind. Martin chose the right side, but Kotai gets it around him with the goalie stick. Augustana pass across. You know, fun fact about Kotai, he has an assist this season, and that's rare in the goalie department that you score any points at all. But
And he's been huge so far this game, Ben. I mean, 8 saves thus far, but I think the quality chances from BG have been pretty good, but he's come up big a couple times. What a hit.
Leading on that power play, wanting a penalty is the assistant captain, Brady Zemer, or the alternate captain, I should say, but I don't think they're going to get it as the face-off will just simply leave the zone. I think it's going to be offsides against Bowling Green, and that it is as they'll reset. Niedermeyer will have to get back on the ice. Grant, Niedermeyer, and Zonka on for the Falcons as the forward skaters. And back into the Falcon zone after the face-off win by Jaden Grant. Pass up, Zonka gets a stick on it, down into the zone, and Jaden Grant will put a hit on and try and turn it over. Bowling Green, a centering pass, and Zonka will have to chase that one back into the corner as it never made it to him. Grant now will have to chase Zemer away. Alternate captain, a senior out of Carver, Minnesota. Takes it up the left wing, looking for a pass now to Matsui. Matsui back across to number 7, Evan McIntyre, another senior on the third line of defense. But he a Canadian and a transfer from Ohio State, an alternate captain as well. And we'll have a whistle and face off in Central Ice. 9:57 left to play in the first period. No score between Bowling Green and Augustana as they just took the shot on goal lead back. We'll bring you back in just a minute as we have a break from the action. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
If you're in need of affordable housing in Bowling Green, Falcon Media has got you covered with apartmentsforrentbowlinggreen.com. This website provides an interactive way to search for apartments, townhomes, and houses for rent in Bowling Green. Housing gets secured quickly in Bowling Green, so it's never too early to start your search for a great place to live near campus. Take the hassle out of apartment finding. Visit apartmentsforrentbowlinggreen.com. Brought to you by BG Falcon Media.
Hi, I'm Edita Wacławczyk and I'm in BGSU volleyball team, and this is my Falcon 4 foods I can eat for the rest of my life. First one is pasta, every kind of pasta. I just love pasta and I wish I was born in Italy. Second one is crepes because I feel like it's a typical dish in Poland, especially sweet crepes. And then cherries, just because they're juicy and really good. And last one is burritos because I like Mexican food a lot. Thank you.
Follow and engage with BG Falcon Media on social media. Find the handle at BG Falcon Media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for all sorts of content, including news information, BGSU athletics coverage, and feature stories from across campus. Enjoy specialty content such as full episodes of the local music showcase, Live and Loud. The coverage continues with BG Falcon Media on all major social platforms.
Villa Emanen loses the face-off to Augustana as Bowling Green is tied with them 0-0 through the first half of the first period. Ben Korak and Lucas Kleinmeyer here from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Turnover in the zone, and racing all the way there is Emanen, and it's going to be offsides against Bowling Green and back out to Central. We've had a lot of offsides in this game, a couple of icing and a couple of pucks that fly out of play, and I think that's a testament to the high energy that we've seen from these two squads.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Those two things really stick out, but also the face-offs for BG. They've won 12 so far. Augustana just won 7, and they're doing a good job so far in this game, and I think I mentioned a little bit before, I think they've had the better opportunities of both teams.
20th face-off of the game will be won by Bowling Green. Stjernberg takes it up on sides. His shot's a good one, but a little bit high, as there's nobody there for the rebound, and Kotai couldn't get anything on it. A big hit there from Stjernberg. Now turned back over. Del Greco out to the wing. It's Garrett Drotz. Garrett Drotz in the zone, ices it all the way around. It's kept in at the blue line by Hayden Hennon. Hennon with a shot in, and it's held onto by Christian Stover.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of a sloppy pass there from Bowling Green. I believe that was Schoenberg there, a little bit of a loose puck there at center ice, and they just kind of picked it up there. But again, no really trouble there from Stover. Augustana hasn't really done anything that has really caused the keeper too much trouble.
Hayden Hennon, the brother of Tyler Hennon, who is unfortunately not dressed today against Bowling Green. Hayden Hennon is the better player objectively. More points on the season, 11 actually, for the sophomore 6'4" defenseman out of Halleck, Minnesota. Pass across to Martin. It's a little bit long for him. He'll move over to the inside. Kotai gets a stick out there and knocks it away from Martin, who laid out to try and get a shot on goal there. 8:50 left to play in the first period. Still no score. Bowling Green's Quinn Emerson goes off the body of Augustana and into the zone, and now Callum Gow will settle it down. and take it up through neutral ice. Pass out to the right wing. Augustana with a little bit of open ice in front. The leading pass will be held onto by Stover, as it was a little bit more of a shot on goal, although it wasn't meant to be. Get a face off to his left.
Yeah, it did look a little bit more of a shot. I believe that pass was intended for a teammate there, but the teammate kind of hit the ice. No good defensive play, though, for Bowling Green.
Simon Falk, Callum Gow, and Owen Bond, the forward line for the Vikings, and Evan McIntyre and Brady Zemer, the third line of defensemen, both alternate captains on the defense. As again, Jaden Grant is kicked out of the wheel. You know, the referee's not being too gracious with who he's kicking out of the circles today. As this one's cleared out by Bowling Green, Evan McIntyre will get a stick on it and skate it back. Pass across to Parker in his own zone. Bank pass up to Zonka. Zonka on sides. Gets it back up to Grant, avoiding the icing. Grant puts a hit on, tries to turn it over. Evan McIntyre's bumped up by a Falcon. Brett Foe working in there with probably the best defensive sequence you've seen of him in a while. He's had a couple of good shifts so far in this game. Augustana takes it up the left wing. Bond with a dump in. Stover will stop it behind. Bowling Green will get it back out to Zonka. Zonka looks for the backhand, now switches to the forehand and gets it clean to Grant. Grant passes it up, now goes for a change. Foe puts a hit on, and another hit on by Bowling Green. You know, they're catching bodies left and right today, more than we've seen from the Falcons in a while.
Setting the tone, man.
Something good that Willie hasn't done a whole lot in this season. A lot of shots on goal for him, but setting the tone's always a good thing in these kind of games, especially in the CCHA. Whistle and an icing against Bowling Green, and it'll go all the way back down without a change for the Falcons with 7:32 left to play in the first.
And I think Bowling Green's done a really good job of meeting that physicality with the Vikings in there. I think it's got the Vikings a little bit off guard to start this one, and as we move into the final 7:30 in the first.
Bowling Green won a face-off yet again. That is their 14th face-off win, only 9th face-off loss, as it's taken away by Augustana. 9 shots on goal for the Vikings, 4 of which coming from Brett Meerman, the right winger on the first line with Colton Friesen and Nace Langus. He's been probably the best offensive player for Augustana so far in this game. This one's flipped up the ice and a wide of a couple of defensemen for Augustana, Ulu Ruika being one of them. Ulu Finland, a senior himself, quite an old group for Augustana as well. A lot of seniors, a lot of juniors, a lot of transfers from Alaska Fairbanks, 3 to be exact. Quinn Rudrud, Simon Falk, and Peyton Matsui. Augustana takes it up into central ice. It gets pressed up, and Breck McKinley will take it away cleanly. Pass across from end to end, and Augustana will settle it down as they intercept it. Passes too deep for McKinley. Passanen will be the first one back. Fakes the pass behind the net and goes to the near side corner. Emerson will leave it up for O'Hara. O'Hara will have it taken away by Del Greco. Del Greco, a centerman on the third line. First 3 centers for Augustana, quite impressive. 9 for Colton Friesen, 13 for Luke Mobley, and 10 for Joey Del Greco. Dots with the puck, back around Svednall. Now a shot in by Hennon, and reaching out and knocking it away is Christian Stover. Scardino will go off the glass. Emerson will try and pass it away to Scardino, who got it all the way in the zone, but he's offsides. He'll have to get back on before he touches the puck, and now he does. Garrett Drotz will dump it back down again, and Bowling Green will hold possession. Pass up to Martin, long for him. Not going to be it is going to be an icing. I don't know about that call, but it's going to leave the zone nonetheless, and Bowling Green will now get a change as they probably need it. Those guys have been on the ice for quite a while.
That was quite a long spell without a whistle blown, and a little bit of questionable icing called there, at least from my eyes, but I don't really think it was anything too controversial.
It looked to be that he was to the proper side of the red line, but I guess he was not. 5:40 left to play in the first period. No score. Bowling Green, Augustana in their first matchup in Bowling Green, Ohio in the Slater Family Ice Arena. Scardino will go for the draw again and will not win it this time. Augustana will come up with it. A slap shot from McIntyre will not make it all the way. Adam Zonka takes it away. Pass up to the near side. Zonka will take it all the way in the zone to get a couple of his guys a change. And they will. Grant and Foe back on as forwards as Zonka will try his best to head off. Now he goes back for the puck.
Good pass.
That was a good pass from the Augustana guy. Got into the stick. Zonka is still out there. This has got to be the longest shift of his season, and now he'll finally head off as Fighton will check on for Bowling Green. Nice Langus. We'll get it into the zone off a stick as well. Stjernberg leaves it up for Foe. Foe looks for a pass. He's bumped away from it, but the puck goes with him. A turnover in the zone. Pass back. Friesen with the shot. Saved by Christian Stover. The ricochets off the boards and into the slot. Now taken away. Another wrist shot in front is knocked away by a Bowling Green defenseman. Came off their shoulder. Seth Fighton is bumped up. Bowling Green looking for the puck and trying to get it out of the zone, and it is Seth Fighton who gets it away into Central. Working it up the left wing, off the glass. First one there should be Emanen, or at least he'll touch the puck first. He does. Gets it back around to the blue line, but intercepted by Del Greco. Sorry, Owen Bond takes it up the left wing. Wozni ices it back around to Bowling Green. Niedermeyer tries to tip it to another white jersey, but he can't do it. Wozni will take it through center again. Head down, Wozni passes it up. Kotai will stop it behind. He's saved 8 shots in this game. Christian Stover's saved 10. That's the shot on goal as well for either team. And we're still on a 0 score with under 4 minutes left to play in the first. Pass over to Waters. Waters takes it through center, out to the left wing. Duran chasing the puck now. Big hit from Bengt Duran trying to turn it over, but it only does to another Augustana player. Callum Gow takes it out in an outlet pass to Owen Bond. Bond takes it up center, now to the right wing. Loses control of the puck. Stover will put a stick on it. As Parker will pass it up the ice now to Ryan O'Hara. Ryan O'Hara with some open low angle shot, misses the goal wide left. And now Augustana with the puck, taking it up the right wing. The Falcons still a little bit low to get up. That's Ryan O'Hara. He's cherry picking a little bit. Now he'll finally head off as Bowling Green and the Vikings are really fighting for it in the right wing corner of the Augustana O-zone. Now pressed up, Matsui with the puck, tries to cross it back. Stover lost sight of the puck, but now finally does. Svednal with the puck, back to Mobley. Mobley out to the blue line. This shot in, redirected in front, and held down by McKinley. He's gonna head off for 2, but he might have saved a goal there as he was holding on to Peyton Matsui. He got a little bit too deep.
Yeah, I think it's a costly penalty there for BG, but McKinley I think did right there as Augustana attacker there, just right there, right in front of the net to put that one in. And Stover there had to make a couple big saves over that pass sequence there. And like you mentioned there, Ben, he lost sight of the puck there on that one sequence there. The Vikings were really feeling themselves there a little bit. That was probably the best piece of attack they've put together in quite some time.
Certainly in this game, I think that was one of the best attacking strikes they've had. But now Bowling Green will head on to their second penalty kill, I should say, of the game. 53 seconds will remain on the clock after this 2 minutes is killed off, as McKinley will head off for 2 without argument, as he knew what he was doing and he saved a goal because of it. Hayden Hennon pass across barely, and he'll get it away to Brett Meerman. Meerman, number 72. On the right wing is pass across, and Augustana coming out of the bench now. Friesen, his pass is a little bit wide of the blue line, and they'll have to reset. So we're 30 seconds expired, and still no offensive drives for Augustana, as this one's iced back down by Bowling Green. Hard forecheck from Jaden Grant. Now stepping up into neutral ice is Scardina. Scardina puts a hit on, turns it over, and Norris ices it back down as we are at $1:20 with the Falcons not even allowing a drive for Augustana. Augustana with the puck, leaves it back in their own zone. Taking it out is Del Greco. Del Greco down center, back for Matsui, back to Del Greco. Del Greco across the blue line into Bond. Bond with a shot in front. Stover rejects it, and ice down by Bowling Green. Again, under a minute left to play in the penalty kill. $1:45 left to play in the first period. Interfered with a little bit there was Baumgartner, who takes it all the way into the zone. Iced again by Bowling Green. This one down the right wing, and they'll get another change.
Yeah, two nice defensive sequences there from BG there to stop a couple of Viking attacks. A lot of momentum swinging Augustana's way right now.
The early forechecking looks to be ripping through Augustana, as now Emanen drops back with 4 men on the blue line for Bowling Green. Now they'll break formation and go back as Stjernberg presses up. Norris ices it back down. Augustana, first one there could be Emanen, but he will not be, as it is Baumgartner that gets back in time. 10 seconds left to play, and the penalty kill for Bowling Green. Big center ice hit, taking it into the zone. Stick in there in the lane. Bowling Green disrupted the play. Pass across to the goal line, into the center, and tipped away by Ethan Scardina. Perfect, and he puts a hit on. That one looked a little bit high, but nothing. Slap shot wide right of the goal, and Bowling Green's back to even strength with 45 seconds left to play in the first. Another shot in, easily gloved by Stover, and a clinical penalty kill for Bowling Green, and as they kill off 2 in this opening frame.
Yeah, pretty wild sequence there. Scardina, they're putting a stick in the way there to break up that pass. That would have found the back of a Viking attacker, and that would have been a very good clear opportunity on goal. But Bowling Green, you got to give credit to the defense, got to give credit to Stover as well. He stood on his head so far in this first period.
Christian Stover in the goal, 14 saves so far with the lopsided penalty from Augustana, as they've had 2 power plays to the Falcons 0. Stjernberg tries to get it out to Waters. Waters with open ice. Backhand pass to Duran. Duran takes it in the goal line. Kotai rejects it. It's taken away by a defenseman. Hayden Hennon back to Stjernberg. Stjernberg's passes into Waters. Waters gets pressed up against the boards. That head was a little bit lower. Might have got a boarding penalty. Pass across, shot in by Norris, is kicked away by Kotai. 15 seconds left to play in the first period. With the puck now, back across to Meerman. Meerman gets a stick on it, tries to avoid the icing, but knocks it down too quickly, and it's gloved by Kotai and dropped to waste some time, as both squads will be content to exit this period with a 0-0 tie through the first 20 minutes. Before we head to our Rick Crow first intermission report, we will give you a rundown of the Bowling Green Toledo game, Battle of I-75 in the Stroh Center that just ended a few moments ago. Toledo unfortunately did beat Bowling Green 84-71. Their best player is twofold. Wilson and Adams each had 18 points in that game, while Bowling Green's Marcus Johnson had 28 points, 10 for 20 from the field, 3 for 9 from 3, and 5 for 5 from the charity stripe, I should say. 13 points from Trey Thomas, 10 from Jemai Felt, as he also had a team leading and a game leading 13 rebounds, as well as 2 steals and a block. It looks like Jemai Felt is really coming into his own as one of the better players and one of the more key players for Bowling Green men's basketball.
Indeed, and it's a tough loss for Todd Simon and his crew, but it's been a lot of tough losses this season thus far. And Marcus Johnson, obviously 28 points, like you mentioned. Very good performance from him, 10 for 20 from the field. Not a lot of other players there had a lot of offensive production. Obviously, Trey Thomas had a baker's dozen. Jemai Felt 10, and Jemai Felt's really coming into his own. There'll be a feature story on him later this week on bgfalconmedia.com. Make sure you really check out that. And unfortunately, just a tough loss for BG against Toledo, and they have a tough stretch. Lost to Miami, lost to Toledo. Now you got Kent State coming up, one of the best teams in the MAC, and they're going to have to come away with a big victory there.
Certainly, Bowling Green men's basketball falls 84-71 to rival Toledo, but Bowling Green hockey had a pretty good first period against Augustana, as 0-0 coming into the first intermission. We'll unpack it in a few moments on the Rick Crow first intermission report. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hi everyone, I'm Claudia Schmidt. Resist the empire of cacophony. Listen to The Folk Show, Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, and also streaming at www.bgfalconmedia.com. Listen up, listen in, and enjoy.
Hello, I'm Nate Paps. I play O-line here at BGSU. My 4 favorite hobbies are hunting. I love hunting deer and turkey during the off season and whenever I have time off. My second favorite hobby is video games. Whenever, in season, when I come home, I like to chill and just relax, play some video games with my friends. Third favorite hobby is fishing. Goes along with hunting, but I love being outdoors. I love fishing, hunting. I love all kinds of stuff like that outside. And my most recent favorite hobby is playing pool. We just got a pool table in our garage, and me and my roommates, who are also on the team, love playing pool. Those are my 4 favorite hobbies. Go Falcons.
BGSU Women's Swim competes in the Butler Invitational in Indianapolis, Indiana on Sunday, January 26th at noon. Falcon Media Sports Network's Wyatt Broadbar will have the recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
You are listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Start your day with WBGU FM and Early Bird Oldies. Tune into Northwest Ohio's community radio station weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. for classic hit music from decades past. Enjoy all the golden oldies you remember and stick around for local community news and entertainment with The Morning Show. Early Bird Oldies, broadcast weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. on Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
This is Grant Balser from BGSU Men's Soccer, and these are my favorite 4 artists. I'm going to start off with number 1, NF. Big fan of his for a long time. Just gets me in my feels a little bit. Number 2, T Grizzly. Great go-to game day artist. Number 3, Young Boy, Never Broke Again. Just like T Grizzly, just gets me ready for game days. And number 4, I'm going to go with Sada Baby, just because that is just... That gets you all over the place. Yeah.
Wake up and get going with the music you know and love. Early Bird Oldies broadcasts weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. and plays all the tunes you remember. Find WBGU on the bottom of the dial at 88.1 FM or streaming worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com. Early Bird Oldies will put a smile on your face and make you tap your feet. And it's only on WBGU, Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
If you're already awake between 4 and 6 a.m., you may as well have a good time. Check out Early Bird Oldies, playing all the hit music of a different generation on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU. Don't forget to listen to The Morning Show immediately following Early Bird Oldies every weekday right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM.
Start your day with WBGU FM and Early Bird Oldies. Tune in to Northwest Ohio's community radio station weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. for classic hit music from decades past. Enjoy all the golden oldies you remember and stick around for local community news and entertainment with The Morning Show. Early Bird Oldies, broadcast weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM.
The Rick Crow First Intermission Report, sponsored by Rick Crow, longtime BGSU hockey fan and listener of WBGU 88.1 FM's Bowling Green broadcast. Bowling Green hockey tied with Augustana 0-0 through the first period, something we haven't seen from the Falcons in a competition since December 13th, again in the first game against Northern Michigan here in the Slater Family Ice Arena. All of the games since then, the Falcons have scored in the first period, but even though they haven't been able to get on the board, still a productive one for the Falcons.
Absolutely, and I think if I had to break it down, I'd say the early part of that first period, Bowling Green definitely dominated, had the better chances offensively, and I think a little bit towards the end of that first period, you saw Augustana there really take control of the game. Look at the stats: 18 shots for Augustana, 16 for BG, 14 on goal for the Vikings, 11 for the Falcons. Obviously 3 more for the Vikings, but I think Bowling Green's chances have been a little bit more quality and have had more likelihood of going in.
And a lot of those quantity of chances coming from Augustana come from the second power play that Augustana had that Bowling Green did not have, unfortunately. So the Falcons have had 2 penalty kills so far in this game to Augustana's only 1, and a lot of those shots on goal were coming from that power play as well. The faceoffs, though, Bowling Green has won at a pretty good clip, as they have all the season and through last season and the season before as well. It's a recurring theme for this Bowling Green team, and they've held pretty good possession against this Augustana team. And for a team that everybody on the ice can really kill you offensively, it's going to be big the rest of the game to be holding on to possession as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, face-off translating to possession, translating to Bowling Green having good handling of the puck, but also just good passing as well. But I think the passing for both these teams has been very good in that first period. Face-offs 1, Bowling Green 15, 11 for Augustana. And I think for BG, one of the most impressive things was kind of those like moments a little bit defensively. Yeah, Brett McKinley a couple of times there was in the right place at the right time to stop a pretty good Viking attack there, especially towards the end. Eric Parker had a couple of good shifts as well. And unfortunately for myself and before Stromberg got himself in a little bit of trouble early, but I think since then he's bounced back a little bit defensively and has played very good.
And that penalty that Breck McKinley took through the last one in that first period again, we talked about that with the Augustana one earlier by Gavin Rudrud. It was a good one to take, you know. It was going to be a really quality chance if you let him go all the way to the net, hooked him there, and prevented the real good shot on goal. So it was a productive penalty there, a productive penalty for Augustana. Even just looking at the shot chart there for Bowling Green, they're seeming to take shots from the wheels and inside a lot more than the Vikings have. The Vikings seem to be taking them from around the blue line, a couple from inside as well, but Bowling Green's working in that slot area, and it's looking like they're taking the better shots, as reinforcing what you said earlier about the quality of chances for Bowling Green.
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, Stromberg leads the team in 4 shots after that first period. Dalton Norris has 2 as well. And you look at the attack, O'Hara had 2, and Durant had 2 as well a little bit. They got a couple good looks. You mentioned that penalty there from the Vikings that had that stopped a pretty good clear opportunity for Bowling Green, and give credit for Augustana there for their defensive play. And I think BG, their attackers have gotten in the right positions. It's just about putting the puck on goal, but also just finding them the best open looks they can, especially in and around the crease.
7 shots on goal for Augustana through their 2 power plays, 3 shots on goal for Bowling Green through their 1 power play. Before we move into around the CCHA, Lucas, what's one thing that you want to see from Bowling Green coming into the second period to improve on the first?
Yeah, I think just more looks, better looks. A lot of their shots that I felt like, as you mentioned, around the O, but also just around a little bit the blue line. I think just getting O'Hara, Durant, and honestly any attacker for BG right in the right looks there, a little bit close towards the net. I think they had a couple players there that tried to block the view of Kotai a little bit there in the first period there. That worked a little bit. I think that's where their best chances really came off of, was when they had players kind of crowding in and around the crease. And I think if they do more of that in the second period, they really can break through. I think it's really been an even game, really, most of that first period back and forth. I think it's a matter of getting that first goal, like I mentioned a little bit at the start of the broadcast. I think a first goal in this game, the way this game's kind of going, the physicality, would be huge.
Well, Lucas, you're hoping for Brody Waters. He was your pick to stick. Mine, Ryan O'Hara, also a pick to stick. And Tyler Kavalitz's Ben Duran has not scored either. So we're all sitting at 0, with Holden Ruck, our board operator, sitting at 3 for Christian Silver, throwing a shutout through the first period.
Yeah, and honestly, he's very happy they're back in the studio. Yeah. But honestly, if I had to rank a little bit in our pregame of who had the best chance, Holden would have been dead last just because of how powerful this Augustana attack is. But right now, the BG defensemen have been playing outstanding. So credit to you, Holden, thus far. But the game's not over yet.
They've been really backing him up quite well. We'll take a look around the CCHA through 2 minutes left in the second period. Ferris State leads Minnesota State, number 14 team in the nation and the number 1 team in the CCHA, 1-0. You know, those bottom teams in the CCHA are really spelling disaster for Minnesota State. Northern Michigan got a win over them a couple weeks ago. Now Ferris State's poised for another one. Caleb Ergang, assisted by Tyler Schlepp, was the goal in that game, 12:56 into the first period. So Minnesota State's looking like they could drop if they don't make a comeback here. Isaac Gordon and Elias Janssen scored in the first and the second for Michigan Tech as they lead 2-1 over Northern Michigan, as Graydon Slipik also has a goal in that game. Jacob Altricher continues his point streak, with Nicholas Ardenaz as the other point for Northern Michigan in that game, 2-1 in the Battle of Northern Michigan between Michigan Tech and Northern Michigan. And then, as we know, Bowling Green and Augustana tied 0-0. That's the only games going on for the CCHA this weekend. So you just heard the Rick Crow first intermission report. We'll bring you back for the Marta Crow second intermission report in 20 more minutes as we head into the second period of hockey between Bowling Green and Augustana. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Wake up and get going with the music you know and love on Northwest Ohio's community radio station. Early Bird Oldies broadcasts weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. and plays all the tunes you remember. Find WBGU on the bottom of the dial on 88.1 FM or streaming worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com. Early Bird Oldies will put a smile on your face and make you tap your feet. And it's only on WBGU Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
BGSU Women's Track heads to Ypsilanti, Michigan for the Bob Parks Memorial on Saturday, January 25th at 10 a.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Holden Ruck will have a recap of the event on bgfalconmedia.com.
Hi, I'm Christine Erdman with the BGSU women's soccer team. My Falcon 4 favorite Halloween movies are Halloween Town because I grew up with my sisters watching it, Charlie Brown Halloween because I watched it with my family growing up, Hocus Pocus just because it's enjoyable, and Halloween because it's scary.
Bowling Green and Augustana coming back on the ice in a few moments. 0-0 score after one period, the first time since December 13th against Northern Michigan that the Falcons went scoreless in the first. But you know, Lucas, the last couple of games, the Falcons have done very well in the first and kind of struggled in the second period. 4 goals allowed in the second period through both games against Ferris State, and they're going to have to come out with the defense that we saw in the first to be able to keep Augustana off the board.
Yeah, especially they got to really finish strong against these teams, against these quality opponents in the CCHA. You kind of look at their past games, and the last time they had a shutout was at Lake Superior State, the first game on January 3rd. That was a 3-0 win there. And then they've been seeing a lot of goals since then. And we've talked about that a little bit pregame is what's the first step of winning any hockey game? You keep the puck out of the net. They've done so for first 20 minutes so far, so a third of the way through, and they got to do it for a couple more periods. But first you got to put the puck in the net.
As with every goal, as with every game Bowling Green plays, it's going to stem through the defense and how well they play. And frankly, so far, Sternberg, Norris, Wozni, and Passanen have been very good on the defensive end. Breck McKinley stepped in there in a couple of big spots as well. Although he does have the penalty, it was a good defensive play to take that penalty, and it was able to keep a shot on goal, possibly a goal off of the board for Christian Stover. So the Falcons and the Vikings will switch sides. Stover now in the west goal, and Kotai will be in the east goal for Augustana, and the Vikings will strike left to right. Bowling Green will strike right to left across your radio dial. You know, Lucas, I get really upset every time they don't wear the retro-looking cream jerseys with the brown. I like these white ones, but Bowling Green's, the classic ones, I think look a little bit better.
I would absolutely agree with you there. And fortunately, a lot of our teams here at BG love the home whites across all different sports.
Augustana also wearing all blue, with blue buckets, blue mitts as well, some yellow and white striping in there and white numbers as well. As Augustana wins the faceoff, takes it back into their own end. Duran gets his stick on the puck. Now a turnover in the zone as O'Hara dumps it back and hopes Waters can get there in time, which he cannot. And the pass goes out into center, and it'll be a lead pass out for Quinn Rudrund. Now in front as Passanen redirects that pass away from the goal. Gets it out inside the goal line. Rudrund will get it back. Another shot is deflected off of the kicker from Stover. Kicked up in the air by O'Hara, trying to get it outside of the zone, but Augustana possesses the puck in the O zone. Now pass across, wide open on the far side. Takes a step in, takes a shot, but it's blocked by Wozni and kicked back outside the zone. It could be an icing, depending on if anybody touches it. And nobody touches it, so it is going to be an icing. Easton Young was streaking all the way back to try and stop play from being called off. Bowling Green will not get a change, but there's only a minute expired in the second, so not too tired of the legs for the Falcons. Colton Friesen will meet up with Ben Duran and the wheel to the right of Stover now in the west goal. Pass across to Easton Young is chipped up in the air off a couple of sticks. Duran will grab the puck and try and ice it back around. Augustana still holds on to it. Brett Meerman is the leading shot on goal recorder for both teams. Certainly the leader for Augustana, and one of the leaders on the team as well with a ton of shots. Jaden Grant takes it up the left wing with a lot of open ice. His shot on goal will be held onto by Kotai, and he'll opt for a face-off to his left.
That was quite the attempt there from Jaden Grant. They're trying to fit that shot there towards the near side of Kotai there. Like the effort, Kotai there had to get down there to his right to cover that one up.
Jaden Grant is up above the 30s in shots on goal this season. He'll go for a face-off now. One of the better face-off men for Bowling Green as well, as Scardina and Emanen, as we know, one of the top in the CCHA. Grant isn't too far behind. I believe he's in the top 30 among centers in the CCHA. Augustana takes it away. It'll be a breakout here for Brett Meerman. Meerman takes it up the left wing, has to turn it back around to the blue line. Slap shot in, and a right arm save by Stover with the stick. And it's kicked back out to neutral as Augustana will have to take a step back. Zemer will try and force it back up, and that'll just force it into the hands of the orange and brown. Pass up into center, off the skate of Zonka again, and it's winged out to the right wing, and chasing it all the way back will be the Falcons, but it'll be an icing against Augustana now. We'll have another whistle blow, and with 18 minutes left to play in the second, we'll get a face-off back down into the O-zone of the Falcons.
Yeah, that was a face-off that Bowling Green did not win there, going back to that play that Augustana won there on a quick break, and then a good save, though, with Stover's right arm.
16 face-off wins, 13 face-off losses for Bowling Green in this game. They'll head back with Scardina, their best draw man in the wheel, matching up against Colton Friesen, and this one's won by Scardina again. Left back at the blue line, a shot in around the goal. It'll be Korodiak with the puck now, and that takes a weird bounce off of the, might have hit the referee
I think
actually,
it did.
but it took a weird bounce off the boards no matter what, and turns it back over. Now taking it out the zone is Martin. Martin dumps it back in with all the guys on sides. A big hit there by what looked to be Quinn Emerson. Emerson, a feisty player, a junior now for Bowling Green, son of Nelson Emerson, as I'm sure many hockey fans remember. One of the BGSU greats, Nelson Emerson. Bischoff, the right wing, wings it out to the left wing, and it'll be Scardina in the lane now that breaks up the play and gets the puck away to the white jerseys. Fighton gets a stick on it, but this will be an icing against the Falcons and head all the way back down as the left wing defenseman Owen Baumgartner was a little bit late to it.
Yeah, just almost 3 minutes into the second period, Ben, but I think the Vikings have definitely had the better of the second period over the Falcons thus far. Good chances. Falcons a little bit sloppy on the offensive end.
They've certainly held onto the puck longer. They've had a couple of more offensive drives, although only one shot on goal recorded for both teams in this second period. Joey Del Greco in the wheel, freshman out of Grand Rapids, Minnesota. 5 goals, 5 assists this season. 10 total points for one of the higher scoring Augustana players, which you can address most of the team with that as they score so evenly. Nobody has really broken away. Tipped out, trying to find a white jersey. It's Del Greco again that's working for it in his defensive zone now as Niedermeyer with the puck. Now Fighton dumps it in. Emanen is going for the body with Hayden Hennon. Hennon's getting pressed up. Niedermeyer gets in there working with the puck, pressed up behind Josh Kotai in the O-zone of the Falcons. A couple of Vikings in there as well as they break it away. Down the left wing, turning it over, back to Fighton. Fighton gets a stick on it to Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer tries to cross it out to the blue line, but it's intercepted by Quinn Rudrund. Rudrund centers the puck. It's knocked away. Baumgartner's in there as well, tries to take a slapper, but nothing there. Baumgartner will regroup back at the blue line. Back around to Bischoff. Bischoff at the right wing, back to Baumgartner. Baumgartner working in toward the goal line, back out to the blue line. Slap shot in, redirected in front. Another shot. Stover shut it off at the last second. Now another centering pass back out to Hennon. Hennon with the puck takes it out to the left wing. Odd grouping there for Augustana, working it in the goal line in front. Getting a stick on it, but missing it was Luke Mobley in front. Now Baumgartner takes it around, leaves it back. Drotz with a shot kicked up into the netting, and it'll be a whistle. And Bowling Green's got to find a way in the next couple of minutes to get that puck back consistently.
They do, and how about Christian Stover again? A couple huge saves, keeping Augustana off the board here early this one, and go back to on the other end for Bowling Green. Then Seth Fighton did really well to keep that puck alive, but then Niedermeyer there, just a sloppy passer that was picked off, and the Vikings went on the other way with it, but Stover made a couple of huge saves again there.
Zeros on the board for both teams. 15:54 left to play in the second period. Ryan O'Hara, Ben Duran, and Brody Waters back on the ice for Bowling Green in the defensive zone, and they'll kick it outside and go chase it, as they did get a change, much needed, and they put the best offensive out there and try and get the puck back. This one into Duran. Duran works with the other 23, Simon Falk. Simon Falk gets it away. Ryan O'Hara with the puck now. He's interfered with a little bit, being held on to still, and that'll be a penalty against number 20 from Augustana, Ula Ruika. And he'll be heading off for 2, as he was truly holding on to Ryan O'Hara there through neutral.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty obvious one. Ruika there just got a little too much of O'Hara, hit the ice there a little bit. Pretty clear as day there on that valve.
2 minutes for holding, evening up the power play attempts for both sides after this one is served out. Now Augustana will head onto the penalty kill as Bowling Green onto the power play. Been pretty good in both areas this season. Power play 210 for Bowling Green, penalty kill 787. Ooh. And the penalty kill for Augustana, one of the best in the CCHA at an 87% clip. Impressive stuff against one of the better power play units in the CCHA as well. Pass up, Bowling Green neutral zone, back at their own blue line. O'Hara takes it out. Back out to the blue line is Norris. Norris bank passes it back around to O'Hara. O'Hara behind, almost wears a hit. Hennon ices it back down with $1:30 left to play in the power play, and Stover will step way out to play this puck. Norris takes it out the left side of his own goal. Pass to Emanen. Emanen has a lot of space in front of him. We'll see if he looks for a pass. He does into the slot, and taken away by Matsui, who just knocks it up the ice again.
Yeah, not the final pass you want if you're Bowling Green, but it was a good look there from Norris to get Emanen there out in that left wing there, but just couldn't find the player in the middle.
Del Greco on the forecheck. Bowling Green wings it to the right wing. Tries to drag it over to the inside. Shot, glove saved by Kotai, who was flashing some leather out there with a couple of guys in his face. That was Brett Foe streaking down the left, and the shot from Emanen down the right side.
Emanen just probably couldn't get the lift on that puck as he wanted there. He had a nice couple moves there, got inside near the top of the crease there, and just couldn't put that one in the net.
14:30 left to play in the second. Under a minute left to play in the power play for Bowling Green. It'll be a big one to capitalize on if they can do it, and the 2-minute penalty to Ula Ruika.
It's a mouthful.
I know it is. Some of these names in hockey different than your women's basketball names, huh, Lucas?
Yeah.
Back down to the goal line. Emanen now back out to the blue line. Faking a shot. Duran with a slap shot, deflected by Kotai, who kept his kicker on the ice for that one. Emanen to Scardina. Scardina hustling in there around to Mobley. Mobley, it's first shift we've seen from him in a while. Back down, Bowling Green back out to the blue line. It's Ben Wozni. Wozni looking for a pass, but good defense by Hunter Bischoff, the right winger, who takes it back all the way into neutral for Bowling Green. Under 30 left to play. Probably the last drive for Bowling Green unless it's iced this second. Foe gets it back around to Duran. Duran tries to put it back out to the blue line. He can do it to Scardina. Scardina, this one's turned over. Bischoff with the puck and turned back over from Scardina into Foe. Foe down the left wing. His shot is blocked by a defenseman. It's Brady Zemer who blocked that shot. Scardina with some open ice. Back around to Foe. Time expiring on the power play. Now back to even strength technically. Duran, slap shot across, is blocked by Hayden Hennon. Back to Martin. Martin with the puck now, working in. Bowling Green to Scardina. Scardina up to O'Hara. O'Hara slap shot, blocked again by Zemer. Another slap shot in, chipped up in the air. Big hit by Bowling Green, stood up. And we're going to get a whistle and a hand pass against Augustana, I believe. And the face-off will head back into the zone with Bowling Green and a fresh pair of skaters.
Now, see, that was a good sequence there from Bowling Green. They had the momentum going. They had a couple of shots to the Tesco tie there. Scardina there, another big hit to the boards to keep that play alive there. And BG did very well there on that attack.
Took 2 more shots on goal on that power play, but some really good quality chances. And maybe more importantly than that, holding onto the puck nearly the entire time. Not a lot of icing and penalty kill ability coming from Augustana, but they kill off another one in this game. So we've yet to see a successful power play from either side. Mobley will get it up down the left wing. It'll be Ruico who takes it up back into the zone. Came immediately out of the box and started playing. He's one of the key defensemen for Augustana. Good move there on the backhand pass. Kotai chips it up into the high glass behind the net. Bowling Green still with the puck. Waters tries to get it out to the blue line at Norris, but it's kept in as Friesen gets bumped. O'Hara sends it in, and gloved and dropped by Kotai, who keeps the play alive. Out to the left wing, Augustana takes it down. Parker puts a hit on, fighting with the puck now, down past the goal line. And a good block there, and a good defensive play in the offensive zone for Augustana. Looking for the pass in, and it is blocked. Bowling Green chasing it back into the O zone just to try and put pressure on. Seth fighting in perfect location there. He was the one that blocked that shot seconds ago. Out of formation, too. It was a good one to stop. Niedermeyer with distance on Brady Zemer. Zemer hits the ice. Gow gets it away to Evan McIntyre. And Bowling Green will hold possession here with Breck McKinley in their own zone, and Callum Gow on the forecheck. Turns it over. Simon Falk with a shot kicked back, and it hits the back of the goal as it goes off the half wall behind Bowling Green. Down around, pressed up at the goal line. Out to Fighton. Fighton into center ice, past the red line. Taking it all the way in is Adam Zonka. Zonka with a good shift there, even to get his guys a change. Goes for the hit on Baumgartner, almost turns it back over to his teammates. And a broken stick for Eamon, who will have to exit this play and get a new piece of lumber. Emerson puts a hit on. Now Zemer kept inside the blue line. Good play, stepping up by Ben Wozni to keep that one. Centering pass to Emerson. That one was too hot for him to direct it into a shot on goal. Passman keeps his body on the glass to try and hold this one in, but inevitably it's knocked out by Augustana. As we saw earlier in this period, Augustana holding a lot of possession. Now it's Bowling Green that's dominating.
Indeed they are. There are a couple of nice attacks here from Bowling Green, especially from Alan Zuka.
10:50 left to play in the second period. 0-0 the score after a scoreless first from these two squads. The first for Bowling Green since December 13th. Now Luke Mobley, the centerman, on the second line, but the starting line for Augustana. Tipped up. Max Martin with the puck. He's tripped up in the center. Peyton Matsui gets it away. Rudrud was right there. He finally got it on the right wing, tipped into Mobley. Mobley stumbling there a little bit. Mobley, Matsui, and Rudrud, probably the premier line for Augustana, even though all the lines score. Hayden Hennon with the shot in, no direction in front, and dropped down to his knees was Brett Foe as he couldn't get a handle on it. Max Martin back across, another shot in, kicked by Stover, banked off of the half wall and into Max Martin as he dumps it in, goes for a change. Falcons back on the ice. We haven't seen a lot of Norris and Sternberg so far in this second period, but the defense has been very good nonetheless as we have an icing against Augustana.
No, we definitely haven't, but the defense for Bowling Green has been very good. I mentioned Brett McKinley, Eric Parker's been very good as well, especially the other defensemen for Bowling Green there. And I think this game's starting to go back and forth a little bit more in the second period. Both teams exchanging a little bit of offensive possessions, but if this game's been one thing, and if I had to describe it in one word, physical.
It has been physical at that. A lot of hitting going around, more than we've seen from Bowling Green in a while. Next break we get will be our media timeout as it's under 10 minutes left to play in the second period. No score, Bowling Green and Augustana. The Vikings dump it down into the zone. Karodiak is there, gets it away cleanly to another white jersey. The secondary pass, however, was not as clean as it's knocked back in by Garrett Dratz. Easton Young stays away from the icing. Harsh forecheck by Augustana. Pass up. Bowling Green has numbers back now. They got a 3-on-3 and now a 3-on-4 as Augustana gets back in numbers. Karodiak looking for a pass. Good stick work by Ivan Karodiak. Ryan O'Hara doing the same, working it into the right wing wheel. Oh. He's dropped to his feet, or to his knees, I should say. It looked to be tripping there as this one's deflected in front by Waters. You got to stick a little bit high there on the redirect, quite a ways away. Wozni with the puck now. Stick handling from Bowling Green has been exceptional in the last minute or so. Under 9 minutes left to play in the second period. 0-0 the score. Scardina working in with Niedermeyer to force the puck free. And it's left back by Garrett Dratz. Still pressuring is Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer, a feisty player in himself. Transfer from Arizona State. Scardina goes for a hit. Another example of physicality that Lucas Kleinmeyer just told us about a second ago. 8:20 left to play in the second period. Del Greco turns it over in the zone. Bowling Green, Adam Zonka to Fighton. Fighton looking for a pass. He turns it back around toward the goal line. Back to Zonka. Zonka trades places, works it over into the slot. Looking for a shot. He got it, but wide right, just barely away from the red iron on the left side of the goal. Norris centering pass. It's in front on the crease, and Kotai covers it up. What a chance in front for Ville Immonen, but he couldn't get a clean enough stick on it, and that could have been a tide turner for Bowling Green had they converted.
Absolutely, Immonen there, just right place, right time, but go tie there, covering that puck up, and what a pass there from Dalton Norris right in front of goal. And that's one of the changes I was talking about a little bit. Get those chances closer to net so you can put it on frame and have a closer chance of it getting in there, and Bowling Green did just that there, but close but no cigar.
They'll shovel to the ice. We'll take a step back from the action. 8 minutes left to play in the second period. You're listening to Bowling Green Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
If you're already awake between 4 and 6 a.m., you may as well have a good time. Check out Early Bird Oldies, playing all the hit music of a different generation on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU. Don't forget to listen to the morning show immediately following Early Bird Oldies every weekday right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM.
You can be an essential part of the morning show's continued success on WBGU FM. The Bowling Green Chamber of Commerce offers businesses and organizations an opportunity to be an underwriter. Under the umbrella of the Chamber, you'll receive your mentions each month during either news and sports programming or feature segments. It's an affordable opportunity to be part of something unique in Wood County.
No score changes in this game after the first, what would that be, 33 minutes of play between Bowling Green and Augustana. Good math from Ben Korak here, who
let's go.
is on record as not being a math guy. Michigan Tech still leading Northern Michigan up in Houghton 2-1 at the home of Michigan Tech. And Ferris State still leading Minnesota State in Big Rapids 1-0. That'll be a great upset if Ferris State can pull it off and somehow knock Minnesota State down a peg, as they are the number 14 team in the NCAA. Knocked down in front, Bowling Green still with possession. Sternberg back on the ice now, as we haven't called his name in a while. O'Hara pressing up and trying to force the puck free. He'll get it done to Duran. Duran centers into Waters. Waters looking for a wrist shot, but it's taken away by Hunter Bischoff, who takes it down the right wing. Back in, whistle blows, offsides against Augustana, who doesn't like the call, but it'll exit the zone nonetheless with 7:30 left to play in the second.
Well, that stutter right there. O'Hara had received the puck there right in front there, couldn't quite control it there, and if he would have done that, he would have had a clear chance there right in front of the net there, put at least a shot on target.
4 shots for Sternberg. He leads in that category, but 3 shots on goal for Ben Duran now. 7 face-off wins for Ethan Scardina, who is the best face-off man for Bowling Green. He hasn't been today, as Ben Duran's 5-3, and Jaden Grant is 7-3. He's been the best guy for Bowling Green today, but still, face-off wins have been a key aspect for Bowling Green, 22-16 so far in this game. Turns it over to Colton Friesen, who's been everywhere in this game for Augustana. He's back pinned behind the goal. Now back out to Zemer. Zemer wings it across. A shot in by McIntyre. And McIntyre takes it out to the blue line. Friesen back out to Zemer. Zemer back across to McIntyre. McIntyre at the blue line. Back to Zemer on the right wing. Zemer, the shot in, is deflected in front. Calmly over to Stover. Stover gets a little slash at the defender there, but or the offender there, but covers up the puck, and we'll get another faceoff.
A little bit of tap with the stick a little bit on his way out.
Just a little friendly slap going on, love tap, some might say, in the game of hockey.
I mean, he's been sensational this game, Vince. 20 saves so far in this contest. I mean, a couple of them have come up huge, and a couple of them have come up against Bowling Green self-inflicted turnovers.
Been a pretty even game, a very good battle, I'd say, and if these two teams are the second and third best teams in the CCHA, I don't see that changing before the end of the season, as they have been tight. It's going to come down to a couple of points at the top. And this is going to be a big one when we look back on it That was a big hit by Bowling Green, not aborting as his head wasn't low enough, but looked to be Max Martin that caught him just in the right way. Crossed over in front. Martin was there in front being bullied away. Mobley was the receiving end of that big hit that crumpled it down to the ice. Krodiak with the puck, showing off the speed, taking it through central. He still has the puck, wings out to the right wing. Smartly enough, gets it away from the defenseman, chipped up in the air and nabbed by Kotai, who will opt for another face-off. 6 minutes left to play in the second period, 0-0 the score. Bowling Green still trails in shots on goal by 4.
I mean, Krodiak, talk about turning and burning the man. I mean, turned around the goal there and had a long outlet pass there for Eric Parker there, but good save.
It'll be Callum Gow, the sophomore in the wheel for Augustana. Slap shot is knocked down in front by Fighton, who was trying to get out of the way. Norris with the puck out to the blue line. Niedermeyer, wow, that one could not have been farther away from the goal, but might be recorded as a shot. Possibly it hit his stick before it got down. Sternberg takes it down to the goal line. Crossing pass in front. Kotai fully lays out to grab onto that puck, as there was a couple of white jerseys in front. Niedermeyer being one of them who had the sticks in there.
Yeah, Seth Fighton was in there as well there, but another good coat there from Kotai. But going back to that shot there, not really much you can say about it except that it was just offline.
Nice to see some offensive production from the fourth line of Falcons, which is Eamon, Niedermeyer, and Fighton. That's a highly defensive line and not a high-scoring line either. 6 points total between Niedermeyer and Fighton, and 11 added by Billy Eamon, the centerman, who's played every game this season. And yeah, it's really nice to see some offense coming from all the lines of the Falcons. Is this line, the first line, back on the ice, Duran, Waters, and O'Hara. O'Hara chases Zemer, who takes it back behind his own goal line, tries to knock it up to Sternberg. Chasing it is Del Greco, and he'll get a stick on this one as Norris tried to clear it away. Sternberg will get it back around to Brody Waters. Waters placed perfectly, looking for a pass off the half wall into O'Hara. Cleanly to Duran. The chemistry on the first line has been insanely good as of the last couple of games. They've played so much together this season. Del Greco hits the ice after a hit from Ben Duran. Not the biggest. Shot in. Duran is in there as well with O'Hara. O'Hara tries to hug the boards to knock the puck down before it can get out. It's held on to by Bischoff. Bischoff on the left wing of the Falcons. He'll try to get this one out again. This one is tipped on the ice by Wozni. Wozni across the blue line. Pass down deep to Eamon. Eamon's going to put a hit on here, and he does to Zemer. And it's almost automatic that if you're getting pinned against the boards with a white jersey coming at you, you're going to get hit. No avoiding hits for the Falcons today. Niedermeyer with the puck up to Eamon. Eamon turns it over to Easton Young. Young dumps it down as a defenseman for Augustana. 2 goals, 4 assists, and 6 total points through 20 games played for the freshman defenseman Easton Young, paired up with the senior defenseman Ula Ruika, who's a veteran presence. Fighton goes for a hit, and now Niedermeyer takes it up down the right wing. Niedermeyer looking for a pass, got it across to Krodiak. Krodiak into the slot, his shot in front, and it's a stick save by Josh Kotai that gets it away. That was a miracle that he got his stick on that. Not a lot of surface area for that. Centering pass is away. Zonka will chase it down, and Ruika will knock it into the near side to Colton Friesen.
Man, Krodiak had the shot there, had all the open space there, but it's just another save there from Kotai.
Still looking for the first goal of the season. He does have an assist in the game against Ferris State, the one that Bowling Green lost. It's his first point in the orange and brown, and the first NCAA point for Ivan Krodiak as well. Grant streaks across, tries to turn the puck over. Brett Meerman dumps it into the zone, and he'll go for a change for some of his guys as Sternberg takes it out the right side of his goalie. Foe takes the puck all the way in, trying to go coast to coast, goes left of the goal with his shot. Back around, Hennon gets bumped up by Emerson. Rudrud back in, Matsui, the left winger, on the right wing now. Back out to the blue line, Hennon is there. Looking in, now he goes for a pass. Another shot in, deflected and kept away by Emerson. The most impressive defensive effort from the Falcons today has been from Quinn Emerson, who full sold on a block a couple of minutes ago and on a couple on the power play as well. Brett Foe with the puck, takes it up the left wing. Jaden Grant now in there as well. Emerson on the forecheck, turns it back over to Augustana. 2:40 left to play in the second period. 0-0 the score as this one clears back around to O'Hara. Nearing the end of the second period, still no score in a highly defensive battle between Bowling Green and Augustana. Shades of the Bemidji State series that we saw Bowling Green take 3 points in 2 overtime games. An overtime win and a win against Ryan O'Hara is here's going to be a penalty to Augustana as Ryan O'Hara is tripped up on cue and will get only 19 seconds of even strength for the rest of this period as Bowling Green will go on power play for 2.
Yeah, I believe it's the second time this game O'Hara's been the victim of a penalty. He got held early on in this game and then this time gets tripped up by a Viking.
It's going to be an interference against Ryan O'Hara, who did not have the puck and was hit. So that's a pretty easy call from the referees here in Bowling Green. Andy Thackerberry and Andrew Rasky, the referees, linesmen Troy Merritt and Patrick Giles. Giles is the only Bowling Green regular that we see in that lineup today. Thackerberry does some games. Rasky and Merritt do some in their own right. No Sean Fernandez from Bowling Green today, as we've seen him a lot. Sternberg fakes a slap shot. He's got a wicked one. It's definitely one to look out for. In front, another couple of drives. Too many bodies in front. Kotai finally gets a glove on it. It's tipped up in the air and fallen away as Kotai has his stick, but another defender for Augustana doesn't. Now Zemer will go grab his. Sternberg back out to the blue line. O'Hara with some open space. Slap shot taken around. What a chance for Dalton Norris on the right wing. O'Hara into Sternberg. Sternberg back to O'Hara at the blue line into Norris. Norris back out to O'Hara. O'Hara back to Sternberg on the left wing. Centers it back to the point man O'Hara. Back to Sternberg. Sternberg on the left wing. Back to O'Hara. Back to Norris. Norris to Sternberg. Slap shot and saved by Kotai. He had some open goal there. Perfectly executed slap shot from Sternberg. And just a better play by Kotai on the receiving end.
Yeah, Waters top of the crease here.
Sternberg. His shot in, or his pass in, I should say, to Waters at the top of the crease, as Lucas Kleinmeyer said a second ago, was just a little bit long. And now a 2-on-2 rush for Augustana as Hunter Bischoff will take it all the way in the zone, waste some time. It'll go to Matsui. Matsui with the puck. Still wasting time, and under a minute left to play in the power play for Bowling Green as they had a couple of good opportunities there. Foe takes it up the left wing. All the way back around out to the blue line is kept by Scardina. Scardina, good pass to Wozni. Wozni into Foe. Foe with open ice. Shot saved by Kotai with 50 seconds remaining in the second period and 30 left on the power play. We got some great chances there from Bowling Green. And nothing to show for it yet, but that's some promising looks for the Falcons on the man advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that sequence is probably the best for Bowling Green this game there, especially a little bit ago. All those bodies just right in front of Kotai's net there, and no one's able to put the puck home.
Scardina full cells, gets it out to the blue line. Wozni to Duran. Duran on the left wing, down deep, tries to center it to Emanen, playing top of the crease as Waters does. Another one, good pass by Scardina. No shot truly from Emanen, but what a pass by Scardina between the legs behind the goal. And 15 seconds left to play on the power play. Bowling Green's going to have to really rush to get this one in. They take it all the way down the left wing. Is it going to be offsides against Bowling Green? I think it is with 6 seconds left. And you're going to really have to worry about the face-off win and loss here, because if they turn it over to Augustana, they'll easily hold on to it for the 6 seconds. And you got to watch the breakout of the guy coming out from the box as well, because he can come out hot and get an offensive chance if you're not waiting for it. Colton Friesen in for the draw. Bowling Green must win, they do. Back across, down the right wing, tipped in. Chasing it all the way in is Waters. Grant with the puck, centering back to O'Hara. O'Hara's shot is high of the goal, as crashing all the way in is Callum Gow. Gow came right out of the box and out to play as Grant will tip it away, and another successful penalty kill for Augustana as they lead 3-2 and killing off man advantages. There's the end of the second period, 0-0, as Bowling Green takes the shot on goal lead back, 23-21 with that fantastic power play to end the second, but we have no goals after the first 2 periods of play. We'll talk about it in a few moments in the Marta Crow intermission report. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
You could listen to WBGU 88.1 FM Or you could be part of the action. Volunteer with WBGU-FM in a variety of roles, including on-air, promotions, social media, music selection, and more. For more information, visit the WBGU Facebook page. Volunteer with Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM, the return to radio freedom.
I'm Ryan O'Hara on the BG hockey team. I got 4 favorite restaurants here. My first one, Frickers, because of the frickin' chicken. My second one, Kermit's, because it's great breakfast food. My third one, The Row. It's great. It stays open late and has great food. And my fourth one is Juniper. It's great to go in the afternoon, and they have a really good name that too.
You are listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
WBGU-FM is Northwest Ohio's community radio station. Tune in daily for local programming that includes the morning show, oldies, indie rock, children's music, folk jazz, world music, and so much more. WBGU is the return to radio freedom. Give us a listen on 88.1 FM or online at bgfalconmedia.com. 88.1 FM WBGU, Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
To listen to replays of recent Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts, tune in to WBGU 88.1 FM every weekday morning from midnight to 3 a.m.
I'm Levi Gazaric, a senior tight end, and my Falcon 4 camp essentials are electrolytes, a gallon of water, sunflower seeds, and Nerds gummy clusters. Go Falcons.
Soon after humans began to walk upright, they invented folk music, and folk music was the only music, and it was good. Then came civilization, and rival musical genres arose: Gregorian chant, classical music, jazz, rock and roll. And there was cacophony, but folk music survived, and when the economy and technology collapse and civilization devolves into barbarism, these upstart genres will fall away and folk music will rise again to its natural dominance. You can prepare yourself now for that inevitable future by tuning in to the Folk Music Show Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on WBGU 88.1.
Falcon women's basketball returns to the Stroh Center to battle the Akron Zips on Wednesday, January 29th. Tune in to Falcon Media Sports Network's Caden Knapp and Foster Rostite at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for tip-off on WBGU 88.1 FM.
My name is Malcolm Johnson Jr., senior wide receiver, and my Falcon 4 favorite NFL teams are the Ravens, because it's in my hometown, the Texans, because Stephon Diggs, and he's from Maryland, the New York Giants, because, well, I love their colors, and the Commanders, because my favorite NFL player is Sean Taylor. Go Falcons.
Did you hear that, kids? You too can join the International Humanist Conspiracy. All you have to do is listen to the World Music Show.
দেশের নয় শুনুন পৃথিবীর গান.
That's right, music from everywhere but here, Sundays starting at 6 p.m. on WBGU 88.1.
Hi, my name is Kate Eigner. I'm number 17 on the women's volleyball team, and my Falcon 4 bucket list places are probably anywhere in British Columbia, Canada, Vail, Colorado in the wintertime, Portofino, and Stockholm, Sweden.
The Marta Crow second intermission report, sponsored by Rick Crow, the husband of the late Marta Crow, a longtime BGSU hockey fan and listener of WBGU 88.1 FM. Rumor has it from Rick Crow himself that you would listen to our broadcast on WBGU 88.1 FM while watching the game in person in the Slater Family Ice Arena. A cool tidbit about Marta, and thank you to Rick, who sponsored our away travel this season. We'll be in northern Michigan next weekend and on the same radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM, so tune in to that. And I should also plug bgfalconmedia.com and BG_FMSN on Twitter for our game recaps and other news of BGSU athletics, as well as BG Falcon Media YouTube channel, which we post our rebroadcasts and highlight packages on, that we will have for this game versus Augustana. You know, Lucas Kleinmeyer, it's your first BGSU hockey broadcast, and we have yet to have a goal. The first time that Bowling Green has not scored a goal in the first two periods since November 29th in a shutout against Michigan Tech, that they were shut out at home here in the Slater Family Ice Arena. And I'm hoping the outcome's not going to look the same, but that's been a while that we haven't scored in the first two periods.
Yeah, big apology to all our listeners. I've been the bad
Lucas
luck.
Kleinmeyer's fault.
Yeah,
you
can blame me so far, but we still have 20 more minutes of hockey left to be played here. At least we've seen good defensive play for both these teams. I mean, both goaltenders have combined for 44 saves, 23 for Kotai and 21 for Stover. The both of them have stood on their head, so to say, and they've both been sensational for both their teams this game. And I'm looking forward to see these final 20 minutes bring in maybe even possibly overtime.
You know, we can't harp enough about how good the defense has been for both squads, for Augustana and Bowling Green, but it's not taking away from the offense that both teams have displayed, because this isn't defense just because, you know, the offense hasn't been as strong as some other times. This is defense for absolutely fantastic defense. You know, we saw good plays from Breck McKinley. Quinn Emerson had a couple of really good defensive plays. Stjernberg got in there a couple of times. The penalty kill for Bowling Green is 2 for 2 today. The penalty kill for Augustana is 3 for 3 today, and both sides really flexing their defensive muscles, even with some great offensive chances.
Yeah, I think the end of the second period actually came at a really bad time for Bowling Green. I really thought they were starting to find the rhythm offensively. You look at the shots by period, they outshotted the Vikings there 12-7 in that second period. They held Augustana to just 7 shots in those 20 minutes of hockey. That's pretty impressive. And a lot of those really came early on in the period, and Stover had to make a couple of big saves there. And you look on the other side for Bowling Green on the other, and they had a couple of big chances there towards the end there, especially right in front of Kotai's goal there, right out in front of the crease there. They had a couple of chances there, but again, just can't find the back of the net.
9 shots on goal for Bowling Green through their 3 power plays, 2 in the second period, 1 in the first period. 7 shots on goal for the Vikings through their 2 power plays. Both of them came in the first period. So Bowling Green's cleaned up their defense as well. And Lucas, we referenced the shot chart before in the first period, and besides the quantity, nothing really has changed. Augustana is continuing to take some pretty deep shots, even on the power play, and Bowling Green's continuing to take their shots from in deep, one of them being on the crease from Billy Emanen. And we're seeing some really good, some better offensive chances, I'd say, from the Falcons over the Vikings.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially there towards the end with O'Hara. And you mentioned that Billy Emanen shot that was right in front of the crease. I think that was probably the best chance Bowling Green's had this game up to this point. And for the Vikings, they're just having not a lot of quality shots there. So as a whole, there was a couple there in the second period that Stover had to make, especially the one safety made with his arm that knocked the puck up way high in the air. But outside of that, really, it's just been the same thing. Physical game, both teams battling. Not a whole lot of changes really separating both teams there, but there might just be one goal in this one. But if not, then we're going to probably go to overtime.
The Falcons are still leading in faceoffs, 27-17, and that's going to be a big one to hold on to. Avoiding the faceoff is holding on to puck possession. The only center, no centers have a negative faceoff winning percentage. That would be sub 50%. The only player for Bowling Green that does is Brett Foe, who's taken 2 draws and has not won a single one, but Ryan O'Hara has taken 3 draws and won all 3. So some impressive stuff there. They're winning them in the O zone, they're winning them in the D zone, and they're certainly winning them in Central Ice as well. So Bowling Green needing to hold on to puck possession going into this third period. That's my 2 cents. Lucas, if you had to take something, you gave them a real good one to get more offensive chances. They did coming into the second period. What do you want them to change going into the third period now?
Honestly, just keep more of the same, but you're just going to need to find a way to get the puck past Kotai. And he's been really good this game, but I think one of the most important things for BG to do is don't go all out offensively, especially if the game remains tied towards the end of the third period and you leave yourself exposed on the defensive end. Obviously, the defensemen for BG will get up there and have some shots. I mean, Stromberg has had a lot of shots as well. He still leads the team with 6 shots so far this game. Dalton Norris went up there a couple of times as well and forced a couple of shots. But even Brett McKinley and Eric Parker, too, they got to be disciplined defensively, too. Don't give away any stupid penalties, but also make sure you don't just sell out completely offensively when you're trying to chase the goal, because then you leave yourself exposed on the other end, and that leaves the Vikings a one-way ticket to the net.
The Mardi Gras second intermission report, Bowling Green and Augustana tied 0-0. We'll move over to CCHA, around the CCHA real quick. Ferris State still leads Minnesota State 1-0, 8 minutes and 30 seconds left to play in the third period. Caleb Ergang, the only goal in that game. If Ferris State can knock off Minnesota State, that would be an absolutely fantastic look for all of the CCHA to dethrone Minnesota State out of that first spot. Michigan Tech and Northern Michigan now tied 2-2 in their rivalry match with 6 left to play in the third period. Isaac Gordon and Elias Janssen, the first 2 goals of the game, both from Michigan Tech, and then Graydon Slippick, the next 2 goals. And actually, as I say that, Elias Janssen scores another goal on the power play to give Michigan Tech a 3-2 lead up in Houghton over the Northern Michigan Wildcats. And then, of course, Bowling Green and Augustana 0-0 through the 2 periods that we played thus far, and we're heading into the third in a few moments. Special thank you to Rick and Mardi Gras for sponsoring our second intermission report here in the Slater Family Ice Arena, when we bring you back puck drop of the third and final frame, and possibly overtime, depending on how the scoring goes between Bowling Green and Augustana. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Catch all the action of BGSU athletics right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU FM. Student play-by-play announcers broadcast all the sports you want to hear, including football, basketball, hockey, volleyball, and more. Don't miss a single game with coverage of BGSU athletics from the Falcon Media Sports Network on WBGU FM and streaming worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
Catch all the action of BGSU athletics right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU FM. Student play-by-play announcers broadcast all the sports you want to hear, including football, basketball, hockey, volleyball, and more. Don't miss a single game with coverage of BGSU athletics from the Falcon Media Sports Network on WBGU FM and streaming worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com.
Hello, Falcons. I'm Dontrez Brown. I play defensive line here, and my Falcon 4 favorite TV shows is SpongeBob, Regular Show, Adventure Time, and iCarly. I like SpongeBob because just growing up, just seeing it on TV, it just made me laugh, and it still makes me laugh today. Adventure Time and Regular Show is kind of a mix. They just always have me laughing. And then iCarly, Sam Puckett is super funny. So go Falcons.
Northwest Ohio's community radio station is currently looking for music submissions from local and regional artists. As a local non-commercial radio station, WBGU celebrates local musicians and offers opportunities for independent artists to get their music out to the local community on 88.1 FM and worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com. Submit your materials now by snail mail or Facebook. Get your music on local radio with WBGU, Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
BGSU women's basketball will travel to Toledo for the Battle of I-75 on Saturday, January 25th. Listen to Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer and Kaden Knapp at 1:45 for pregame and 2 p.m. for tip-off on WBGU 88.1 FM.
back out onto the ice against Augustana. The first meeting here between these two teams in the Slater Family Ice Arena. The first CCHA meeting of them for record, although Augustana does lead Bowling Green 2-0 in the all-time after 2 wins last season in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And they are back on the ice now, as well as Bowling Green and Augustana are tied 0-0 through 2 frames of play, and we head into the final. Ben Korak, Lucas Kleinmeyer from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Special thanks to Rick Crow for sponsoring our first and second intermission report, and the second in the name of the late Marta Crow. Lucas, what did you see in that first 2, and what do you want to see coming into this third?
Yeah, it's a lot of what we talked about in the mission report. I think the first was a very even back and forth between the two teams. Bowling Green dominated the first 10 minutes, I'd say, of the period. Then the second period belonged to the Vikings. And then the second period, I thought it was kind of the opposite. I thought Augustana there had a little bit of momentum to start at the second period, but then Bowling Green, probably with 15 minutes left to go in the second, really took control of the game, and they had a lot more quality shots in the second period than the Vikings. 12-7, as we mentioned in the mission report, and they've had a lot more quality changes than the Vikings, but still just trying to find that first goal.
Our pick the sticks, still zeros across the board for Lucas Kleinmeyer, Tyler Kavlitz, and myself, Ben Korak. And Holden Ruck, our board operator, sitting pretty at his 3 points, still retained by Christian Stover, who has been pretty darn good so far in this game. I won't say it and jinx it for myself, but 0-0 on the board, and Stover and Kotai both contributing to what could be a pretty strong and statistically evident effort today. 23 saves for Kotai, 21 for Christian Stover so far in this contest. Tommy passing him back into his zone, backhand passes it to Wozni. Wozni clears it into the center, shot saved by Christian Stover after the defensive turnover in their own zone. That one was a stupid mistake to be making for Bowling Green and Tommy Passanen, who is a veteran on this team.
Yeah, Friesen's going to want to have that one back. I mean, he was right in front of the net there. Had a wipe and look off a really bad Bowling Green turnover there, but Bowling Green really escaped one there. They could have easily found themselves down 1-0 here with just 30 seconds in the third period.
19:30, as Lucas just alluded to, in the third. Adam Zonka, Jaden Grant, and Brett Foe back on the ice now for Bowling Green. The second line, Foe with 11 points this year, Grant with 7, and Zonka with 4 in only 15 games played. But he's had some very good shifts today. He's had some very good shifts lately, and he's becoming a staple in the line sheet for Bowling Green. Turn back over, Luke Mobley takes it down the left wing. Shot is saved by Christian Stover. The whistle blows, and I think that hit Stover in the neck as he took that one in the jugular. I don't know why the whistle blew.
Yeah, Stover felt that one immediately. He went down to on the ice. Seemed to be in some discomfort.
The really good thing they blew the whistle is he would have been down for the count. And a pretty quick whistle from the referees, who did a probably goal-saving job from Bowling Green and an instant recognition that he was in need of some assistance.
Still made the save.
He did still make the save. There was also a crossing pass there from behind the goal line that could have gone off of his foot and in. And that would have been heartbreaking, considering he was 1-2-3 down for the count.
Well, with the way he's been playing tonight, Ben, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if that puck just went off the back of his heel if it ended up being a shot. Good to see he's okay, though.
Maybe some of the luck going back against him, as there's been not a lot of luck for either sides offensively in this game, but Stover looks completely fine. He's crouched over in his crease again, and we'll get a face-off to his right with Jaden Grant stepping back into the wheel for Bowling Green against, oh no, they'll get a change off as they get the second change. So they'll get their favorable one with Scardina going against Luke Mobley. Mobley, 8 goals, 5 assists, the leading goal scorer for Augustana this season. Martin chases this one all the way down. He's one of the faster ones for Bowling Green. Actually did a Falcon 4 for the Falcon Media Sports Network 2 days ago on Wednesday. And you can check that out at BG_FMSN on Twitter. Young electric freshman who dominated to pick the stick early in the season. And he's kind of fallen off a little bit, but one of the leading goal scorers for the Falcons with 4 and only 6 points. And Emerson down the right wing. He's bumped up by Easton Young. Young playing defense on him now and spun out here. We'll get a whistle and an offsides against the Falcons. Simon Falk was giving him the business a little bit. We're 19 minutes left to play in the third. Not yet a minute expired.
A lot of stoppages early in the minute there. Stover went down a little bit there, and a couple of other whistles blown there, so it's been a kind of a physical start to this one.
Grant wins the face-off. Parker across, taking it into the zone is Karodiak. Slap shot saved by Kotai. That was a little bit of a lot to ask for from Karodiak as he took that one from the blue line. Like quite literally standing on the blue line as well. So about one of the deepest shots that you can take in the O-zone. How wild would that be if you had a two-pointer as a goal from beyond the blue line? Wouldn't that be something in the game of hockey? Bumped up behind, Jaden Grant out to the right wing. Augustana across to the left wing now. Stepping up and playing defense on him is Eric Parker. He will chase it back down. Stover changes direction back to Karodiak. Karodiak gets it away and a little bit deep for the white jerseys. Matsui on the left wing, dumps in. Falcons will hold, and Ivan Karodiak will leave it back for a couple of Falcons. He's had a long shift here as well. Wonder if he's going to go over to the bench now. No, he won't, as the Falcons will turn it over. Now he finally will, as they ice it down. And Passanen, who steps out of the bench for him, will pass it across to Emanen. Emanen across to Fighton. Fighton puts a hit on in the right wing corner of the Falcon O zone, and Hennon takes it away back out to the blue line, and Breck McKinley out to center. Good skating there by Fighton to take it away, dump it back in, and get a fresh set of guys. That's the best line of forwards and defensemen for Bowling Green. Duran, Waters, and O'Hara, and Norris Stjernberg on the defensive end. Now a 2-on-1, shot in, rebound is in front. Owen Baumgartner with another shot. Norris blocks this one up into the air. What a chance for Augustana, and they still just can't find a good enough quality shot. Friesen with the puck now takes it around behind the goal line. Duran puts a hit on. Takes him out of the play for a second. Duran puts another hit on out to O'Hara. O'Hara up in the center, and it's accepted by Augustana and left back in neutral zone. Now forced up, Nace Langen takes it away. Now down the left wing, Karodiak again, and it's chipped. Langens again leaves it back, taking it down the goal line. Augustana crossing in front. Stover kicks it away. It's still there, and now taken back out to the blue line as Easton Young holds on for Augustana. Back around, the Vikings looking for the first goal. The Falcons doing the same as it'll clear back into the zone, and Stover will settle this one down with no forecheck. Now picking it up. Martin gets a skate on it, I believe. No, he didn't, as it's going to be an icing against the Falcons, but they got a change off right before that one, and with 16-13 left to play in the third, we're still at a 0-0 score.
Yeah, those were a couple of scary sequences there again from Bowling Green there. And you had the Vikings, similar to what they did in the second period, came out of the intermission report, out firing offensively. Stovers had to come up big a couple of times, and it's been really good passing, especially from Augustana.
Low angle shot from Augustana, goes off the half wall. McIntyre gets bumped up. It's out to center. The Vikings hold on. Taking it up through center, and now taking it away is Brett Foe, who got a little bit of physical there in center ice. Back out to Owen Bond. Owen Bond turns it back over through the slot of Falcons into center. And we're going to have a whistle and a stoppage, and I think the faceoff's going to come back down into, it is going to come down into the O-zone of the Falcons, so beneficial there to Bowling Green. Michigan Tech just finally beat Northern Michigan 3-2 in Houghton in that rivalry game. Elias Janssen gets the game winner with 13:48 left to play in the third period. He had 2 power play goals in the game, one in the second, one as the game winner in the third. Ferris State and Minnesota State with 3 minutes left, still 1-0 Bulldogs. And it's lonely at the top, and everybody else in the CCHA is hoping that Minnesota State can be toppled back down.
I think it's safe to say they're the class of the CCHA.
Back across, Bond leaves it to the inside. Taken away, but not clean passing by Augustana as they had a 3-on-2 rush, and now Brett Foe takes it down the right wing. Over into the center, not looking for a pass, finally dished it out to Passanen. Passanen working in his shot wide left. This one will come all the way back down against Bowling Green. I don't know if it'll be an icing against the Falcons. No, it will not, as that was a shot. Nobody else touched it, so the carom will be called. into center again. Pass across. Bischoff out to the right wing. Fighton gets pressed up, and now down on the ice is what looks to be Peyton Matsui. And the whistle will blow for the injured player on the ice for Augustana. I don't know, and I don't think this should be a penalty, as Fighton and Matsui were both pressed up.
Yeah, Fighton and
he was a little bit like co-contact there.
I say so too. I think it was just more of sort of collision. He kind of just got sandwiched there in between the boards. I mean, they were both going for the puck there, and they're both trying to shield each other off there, and Matsui just kind of got the wrong end of it and just flew into the boards a little bit there. And I mean, he laid full out on the ice, and he's still kind of hunching over.
The alternate captain, 5 goals, 11 assists this season, team leading 16 points, is still hunched over. Don't know what the problem is. He's heading off to the bench and not off the ice, which is a good sign, but the trainer is still attending to Peyton Matsui.
Yeah, he'll skate off, but that's it's not good if you're the Vikings.
Fighting also a little bit worse for wear after that one. It took him a second to get up, but he did. Matsui really did not and barely skated off after that. Out to Stjernberg to Norris. Norris a slap shot in, deflected in front by Waters, up in the air, and Kotai nabs it out as he had most of the goal walled off. And that'll be Kotai's 25th save of the game, one ahead of Bowling Green goaltender Christian Stover. Neither of one of them have given up a goal left with 15 left to play in the third. Ben Duran wins the faceoff out to Stjernberg. Stjernberg back down to the goal line. Crossover. O'Hara in front, not Waters, as Waters fed the pass in. And that was a switch up in personnel there for the Falcons. Onside still. Ryan O'Hara works it to the inside. Slap shot. Stjernberg high of the goal and hits the glass. Back around Waters out to O'Hara. O'Hara centers it into Duran. That was a heck of a shot from Stjernberg and a powerful slapper on the left wing. Back across to Owen Baumgartner in front. Falcons without true defensive stance there. Now taking it all the way in. Another shot kicked by Stover to keep it away with the glove. Presses it out. Bowling Green trying to get it outside the zone. Now putting a hit on is Duran. He lifts up. Slap shot. Kick save by Stover. Directs it away from the rest of the blue jerseys. Easton Young across the blue line. Now back. Baumgartner another shot, and it's caught in front by Stover, who steps out of the crease. 14 left to play in the third, and 26 saves all for a 0-0 score.
I don't know. I'm trying to run out of adjectives and phrases to say how well both goaltenders have been playing this game. Kotai and Stover have been absolutely unreal in this game. And
they've been immaculate in this game. Literally immaculate.
That's a good way to describe it. We'll go with that one.
It's going to be a tough loss for one of these two goaltenders, or a tough tie for one of these two goaltenders, considering how well they've played so far. Somebody's going to get the short end of the stick. Augustana with the puck, right wing, trying to get it back out to the blue line, and he's holding on to this one a very long time, almost too long. Joey Del Greco is trying to weave his way through all the white jerseys. Now it's out to Nace Langus. Langus to Fighton. I think it went off his stick. I don't know if they're going to be able to tell if this is an icing, so I believe they'll just not call it at all, as it went off a couple of sticks. Fighton gets blasted center ice. That should be a penalty on an interference. Fighton just got blasted center ice with the puck not even close. Here's a chance over in. Stjernberg gets tied up there with the defender. I cannot believe there was no penalty on that. Fighton is getting into it a little chippy with the defender of Augustana. That should be a Bowling Green power play, and Willie's not going to be happy about that one.
I mean, he was blindsided mid-ice. I mean, that was...
The puck wasn't even close.
I mean, that was something. I mean, officials missed that one for sure.
Emerson pressed down to the ice now, out to the blue line. Parker leaves it back in, and now it's pinned up against the left wing, or the right wing boards for the Falcons. Scardina gets a stick on it. Easton Young looking for an outlet pass. He gets it to center, off the skate. It'll be directed towards Stover, who will just cover this one up. 12:42 left to play in the third, 0-0 score, and to be honest, it should be on a power play right now, and that would be a big one if they made the proper call on the fight and hit in the center.
For sure, and lucky enough for Bowling Green, that didn't turn into a goal because Augustana was quickly on the other end there, and Stover had to make a quick save to keep the puck out of his net there, and Bowling Green was down a man because Fighton was laid out on the ice.
Not to mention the hitter was already in the offensive play when Fighton was a little bit tardy. A huge pile on top of the dot as a couple of players crash in. This one's flipped up the ice with the 9-iron by Stjernberg. Zonka chases it all the way down. Pass across to the right wing. Augustana through center now, taking it all the way in deep. This shot is off the stick block by Stjernberg. Stjernberg up to center. Zonka on the near side. Back across to Brett Foe. Brett Foe with the shot in as he is pressed up and quite sizably wore a check there. Back out to the blue line as Wozni fakes a slap shot into Pastanen on the near side. No goals between those two defensive units of Pastanen and Wozni, but 6 total points this season between the two. Another hit going on from the Falcons as Augustana collects the puck, takes it up through center. In by Bischoff. Pastanen with the puck. Drops it down flat against the ice. Waters takes it up through center. Pretty big, quite fast as well as he tries to stick handle through the slot. Dumps it back down to Duran. Duran into O'Hara. O'Hara looking for another white jersey. Tries to get it to Duran, but it's intercepted in between. Duran across to Waters. Waters getting pinned up. Tries to go between the legs of the defender, but it's off the skate instead, and now an odd man rush for Augustana. Slap shot directed away. Stover outside the crease and is taken away by the defenseman, but really helps Stover there, and Duran makes a good move in the defensive zone to recover the puck. Back out down the left wing, another shot by Kotai, redirects it away to his defenseman. Back up, Stover behind the goal. Now Parker up the right wing, tries to pass it up on the good side of the red line, the center line. Norris keeps it inside. At the blue line, now it leaves. Offside warning against the Falcons. They'll all get on and now go on the forecheck. Seth fighting on it with Max Martin. Max Martin steps up, turnover now. Ethan Scardina down center, leaves it back, but nobody there. Stjernberg took a step up, and that's going to be offsides against the Falcons as there's miscommunication between Scardina, Max Martin, and Gustav Stjernberg.
Scardina's had a couple of very key interceptions this game, but unfortunately for the Falcons, they haven't amounted to anything really on goal, and obviously nothing in the back of the net.
10:32 left to play in the third. No score, Augustana and Bowling Green. We've been saying that since the first minute of this game, that there's still been no score. Shot is gloved by Kotai, and he'll hold on to this one again for another face-off. As his guys didn't need a change, so only a couple seconds expired there. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock, Bowling Green, Augustana, the second of the 2-game series. I will be on the call. Lucas, who's with me tomorrow? I completely forget.
Ben Korek will be alongside Nathan Burkett.
Nathan Burkett tomorrow is also writing the game that you can read on bgfalconmedia.com.
Yes, he will. And earlier on WBGU at 2 p.m. is the Battle of I-75 in Toledo for women's basketball.
That should be a fun one. Who's going to be on the call for that one, Lucas?
That'll be myself alongside Kaden Knapp.
There you go. Big game there for women's basketball, who's trying to get something good going in the Stroh Center as well. I think the better of the two basketball teams, but that's neither here nor there. Stover with a great save there as he was bumped into by an Augustana player there. I believe that was Owen Bond. Now putting a hit on his femur. Back across and into center is Wozni. Wozni to Pastanen. Pastanen looking for a pass through center. Out to O'Hara. O'Hara takes it up the right side. A confident player works it in. Tries to get it in the slot. Slap shot passing in, but nobody's there to clean it up, and it legs it back outside the zone, and Zonka chases it down. Across to the left wing, Ben Wozni with the puck. He'll leave it back to Pastanen. Pastanen looking for another pass. Across, tipped up. Zonka in the zone. That's going to be offsides against the Falcons. Not great awareness from Brett Foe, who just wanted to take it in. And we will be halfway through the third period and take a step back from the action. 9:31 left to play in the third. No score, Bowling Green and Augustana. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Catch all of the action of BGSU athletics right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU FM. Student play-by-play announcers broadcast all the sports you want to hear, including football, basketball, hockey, volleyball, and more. Don't miss a single game with coverage of BGSU athletics from the Falcon Media Sports Network on WBGU FM and streaming worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com.
To get your music played on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, submit your materials via snail mail or through Facebook. Additional opportunities include on-air interviews, live performances, and more. Promote your band and your music on Northwest Ohio's community radio station. Submit your materials now and start engaging with a larger audience. Return to Radio Freedom with local music on 88.1 FM WBGU Bowling Green.
Bowling Green, Augustana tied 0-0 in the Slater Family Ice Arena through, gosh, I'm not even going to do that.
Come on, Ben. Come on, 2 for 2.
2.5 periods. That's 50 minutes of playing time between these two with 10 minutes left to play. Ferris State did beat Minnesota State 2-0 in Big Rapids. They are on a tear after that win against Bowling Green last weekend. Caleb Irgang and Jacob Adal, the 2-goal winners. Tyler Schlepp with a 2-point game, with Trevor Tollian adding an assist to the second goal by Ferris State. And then a final in Houghton as Michigan Tech beats Northern Michigan as well. So Bowling Green, the last game to be going on. And a real good chance to rise pretty heavily in the standings in this game, as Minnesota State is going to be handed a loss in this game. 17 games played for them, 35 points for a 686 points percentage. Augustana is above Bowling Green as well with their 16 points in 8 games left to play. And Michigan Tech above the Falcons right now with their win, but if the Falcons can take any points at all, they maintain third place and maybe even rise above Augustana in the CCHA ranks.
Yeah, big heavyweight battle we have here.
Truly defensively as well. Fighton hits the ice again. I don't know if that's going to be, it's not going to be a penalty. I don't know if it was.
I think he just kind of fell on his own.
Maybe got spun out of play a little bit there. The puck was close to him, but I didn't see him playing it. Pinned up against the sin bin of Bowling Green and Augustana on the far side of the arena here. Across to Baumgartner. Baumgartner wears a big hit in front of his own bench and dumps it in as Parker with the puck now to Scardina. Scardina takes it up the right wing. All the way in, moves it over to the inside, gets it to Martin. Martin's being pressed up now and hogtied by what looks to be Easton Young. Eric Parker drops back in. Emerson playing the point now. Good recognition from him out at the blue line to try and keep the puck in. Is kept in by Bowling Green, but all the other players had left the blue line, so not a whole lot of, oh, now some open ice here. Quinn Emerson moving it in front, taken away by Augustana, and now a 3-on-2 against Bowling Green. A fourth man can get in there if they need. Bischoff across. Augustana with a shot in front, saved, still kept away by Bowling Green. What a play, Quinn Emerson stepping in there and knocking the puck out of the D zone of the Falcons. What a 3-on-2 drive for Augustana, taking it all the way in, down to the goal line. Easton Young loses the blade of his skate and loses the puck as well. Back out to the blue line. Zeimer with a shot, saved by Stover. That's his 31st save of this game. This is his 6th game of the season with 30-plus saves and his 10th game played of the season as well. So Christian Stover flexing his muscles in today's game and helping that goals against average as well. 7:20 left to play in the third period. Augustana with the puck back in their own zone. Now forces it up. Some open ice ahead. Taking it all the way in, past the goal line, pass across, sticks in the lane, and that'll be a stick block for the Falcons. Dumps it back down and knocked down, and Sternberg will come up with the puck. Sternberg with an outlet pass to Zonka. Zonka tic-tac-toe into Jaden Grant. Good puck movement there from Bowling Green. Grant to Foe. Foe is pressed up. Back to Grant. It's across the nose of Kotai, who just puts a stick on it. Haven't mentioned his name in a while, but he's been equally as fantastic as Christian Stover. 29 saves so far in this game.
Foe's just trying to do too much with the puck there.
He was. He does have a little bit of a problem with that, skating with his head down and not looking for passes, trying to do everything himself. It's helpful once in a while. McIntyre with the puck, playing defense, off the stick again, over the head of Korodiak. Korodiak puts a bump, tries to turn the puck over. It's back down to the blue line at Augustana. Augustana with the shot in, blocked by Scardina. Korodiak still with the puck, it's at his feet. He lost control of it, and now to the left wing, D side of the Falcons. Baumgartner ranging all the way in. Del Greco with a shot wide right of the goal and Stover. 6 minutes left to play in the third period. Still no score. Scardina, backhand pass around. He has played fantastic in this game. Ethan Scardina has been a menace in the face-off wheels. 12-6. He's got 2 shots on goal as well as 2 blocks. Leads in face-off wins and blocks among both sides. Seth fighting with a breakaway here. We're going to get a whistle back out to Central. I think we're going to get a high sticking against somebody against the Falcons.
Yeah, indeed, you're right. And that's a very missed chance there for Bowling Green. Fighting was clear. Had almost a clear side of goal there with Kotai.
Not the one you really want on a breakaway, Seth fighting, but a breakaway is a breakaway. Anything can happen. 5:42 left to play in the third period. No score. 32 shots on goal for Augustana, 29 for Bowling Green. A high offensive affair, even though there's been no goals scored. Ulo Ruico with his shot. He's taken away. Back to the blue line. Is that going to stay on sides? It is, says the linesman. Woznita fighting. It's a little bit long for him, so it'll be held on to by Augustana. Good pass into the zone, down at the goal line, centering in front, and the Falcons had 4 white jerseys there to take the puck away, and they did, to the left wing, and leaves it back for Wozni. Wozni up to Niedermeyer, gets a stick on it to avoid the icing, and immediately hustled off for a wholesale change and the best offensive unit on the ice for the Falcons. First line of defensemen, first line of forwards. Back up to Sternberg. Sternberg in his own zone. Turns it over. Low angle shot. High of the goal and wide of the goal as well. McIntyre blows a tire. Waters stepping up to put a head on him. Matsui back on the ice now. The first shift since he was crumpled down to the ice by Seth Fighton a moment ago. But he looks fine. He's hustling against the boards. Waters with open ice in front of him. Dumps it in past the center line. O'Hara chasing in. Puts a hit on. Turns it over back to McIntyre. McIntyre out the right side of Kotai in between the pipes with his 29 save effort thus far. Shot wide right. Foe takes it, trying to take it into center, but he gets bumped up. Drotz leaves it back. Now back up, and a big hit from the Falcon, Ivan Korodiak, who has had some great shifts in this game as well, and he's got a lot of them. Tip up to Zonka. Zonka is ahead of the play as he's been a lot in this game. Nobody really to back him up. Now he'll skate off as he was just wasting time for the Falcons to get a new set of guys out. Number 24, Colton Friesen, his shot is wide. Taking a step in, and now back up to the blue line, Owen Baumgartner. Baumgartner takes it up the right side, deflected in front by Rudrud. Back out to the blue line again.
Scardina doesn't have a stick.
Back up at the blue line, taking it down the right wing, and now turning it back around. 3:35 left to play in the third period. Baumgartner back at the blue line. He'll get the puck. Hennon leaves it back for him. Baumgartner takes it all the way up. He's got to work into the side, and Christian Stover off the side of his kicker. Saved that one just barely. What a save from Stover. Emerson has to go get a puck, so it'll be a 5-on-4 here for a second. Passanen comes up with it. Open ice ahead of him. 3-on-3. Passanen will dump it in. That could be an icing. Don't know if he was on the center line when he dumped it down, but it'll be touched anyway. Fighting, trip into the center. Jackson Niedermeyer with the chance, and he's held up in front. Dalton Norris with a shot. Kotai in his chest, and it falls down in front. Under 3 left to play in the third period. Augustana pass to the center. Brett Meerman had a lot of shots on goal early, but not a lot since. Only 1 shot on goal after the first period. So he hasn't had a lot of playing time either. Being held on to now by the Falcons. Seth Fighton. Sternberg up to center. Max Martin. Martin takes it into the zone. That's going to be a penalty against somebody. And we'll see which box opens. The hand was in the air of the referee. See if it's a penalty or just a whistle and dead of play. But it's going to be against Augustana.
I don't know how that puck didn't just roll in that Stover's goal. I mean, that was not the flashy save of the night, but that might have been one of the most important ones because I have no idea how that one didn't go in.
He was standing almost straight up, not even in an athletic position. But Nace Langus is going to head off, a freshman out of Ljubljana, Slovenia. 4 goals, 4 assists this season. Such a great opportunity for Bowling Green. A must score on the power play in their 4th of the game.
Final 2:30.
Everybody getting into this game now in the Slater Family Ice Arena as if they weren't before. Shot in, O'Hara down to Waters. Waters tries to center it back, and O'Hara with the puck now. Back to Waters behind the goal line, back to O'Hara. O'Hara left wing to Stjernberg in the center at the blue line, back to O'Hara. O'Hara doing a little bit too much with the puck there and turns it back over to Augustana in center ice. And now this is a breakaway one-on-one with Hunter Bischoff. Bischoff is held out to a little bit. Martin goes for the hit and takes him out of the play as Ryan O'Hara takes it up through center. Willie's telling him to push. He does. Stjernberg takes it down to the goal line. Tries to work it back around to O'Hara. O'Hara's bumped up. The referee's mixed up in there as well. Waters back around. It'll be iced back down by Augustana. Matsui in there to stop the puck. And a successful ice from Augustana with around a minute left to play in the power play for Bowling Green. Turnover in the zone. Pass is deflected. Bowling Green's got to get out of their zone and get an offensive chance soon, as with a $1:30, they need a goal. It's 0-0. Augustana, Bowling Green. The Vikings with a hard forecheck. Now Foe up. The pass is high, but into Foe. It was intended for him. Back across, Bowling Green still battling for the puck. They don't have it. It'll be iced back down by Augustana. 40 seconds left to play in the power play. Wozni will have the puck now. Bowling Green not going for a change. Foe, Scardina, Duran, and Emanen. Taking it all the way in. Foe fans on the shot there as he had it open on the left wheel, and that'll clear back out of the zone. Enough for a real quick drive. Bowling Green, 15 seconds left. It's Ben Wozni in his own zone. Grant out, Niedermeyer out, as Bowling Green with not enough guys on the ice. Miscommunication on the shift there. Willie's not happy. Stjernberg shot in and gloved by Kotai with 3 seconds left on the power play. And it looks like Augustana could possibly kill this one off in crunch time with 33 seconds left to play in the third.
Yeah, that's disappointing there from Bowling Green, especially on the miscue on the shift there. And Foe again got himself in a good position there, but just couldn't locate the puck and get a clean strike on goal. But give the Vikings credit there on the power play, staying strong there again, and that's just been the story of this game for both teams.
A sloppy line change on the near side here too. They had 3 skaters on the ice at one point. Thank God there was no forecheck from Augustana. Face-off won by Augustana, back out into the crowd, but not after the skater came out of the box. It was Nace Langus who was in the box. 28 seconds before we head to an overtime. 0-0 Bowling Green, Augustana. Now, if you're Bowling Green here, I think you just want to hold on to possession as long as you can and force overtime and not allow any drives from Augustana. Must-win face-off for Jaden Grant in the wheel. They do win it. Back out to the blue line. Dalton Norris brings it back around. Niedermeyer going for a hit there on Zemer. Zemer, an alternate captain, gets it away, turns it over. Back out to the blue line. Stjernberg has to chase it all the way back as it bounced over his stick. He forces it up, and it will hit the side of the bench of Bowling Green, and it'll be a face-off in center ice. 12 seconds left to play in the third period. Still 0-0.
Looking like this might head to overtime, which would be an exciting one for you and I's first hockey call together.
It would be very exciting, but it would be nice for Bowling Green to take 3 points
it would.
in this one.
It
Although
would.
they played a absolutely fantastic game. Both sides have defensive masterclass, offensive, great offensive chances, both sides. Scardina in the wheel. Works with passing in, back out to the blue line, is knocked out. Ruika couldn't hold on, and now the Falcons have the puck in their own zone. 2-1 on the clock. The horn will sound, and we will head to overtime at a 0-0 score. The first time this season we've had a 0-0 score heading into overtime. Bowling Green with a chance to win it. We'll unpack what we've seen through 3 and what we want to see through this 3-on-3 5-minute overtime. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Brain Grub, exploring the psychology and science of behavior to improve your mental health and life balance. Listen weekly on Wednesdays from 3 to 4 p.m. for topics about health, psychology, and human behaviors. Join psychologist Dr. Christine Fair and co-host Kaylee Bowen as they inspire, encourage, and offer usable approaches to impact your life in a positive way.
Be a part of Black Swamp Players, BG's award-winning community theater group. BSP produces a 5-show season, adds on the winning play from our Playwriters competition, hosts improv and special events, and is totally volunteer-run. You can be part of this inclusive arts community in many ways, on the stage, in the director chair, as an usher, watching from the audience. Come see our Black Box Theater and find out how you can be involved. More at blackswampplayers.org.
0-0 through 16 minutes of play. No team has deserved to come away with 3, but a team will come away with 2 as we head into the 5-minute 3-on-3 overtime for Bowling Green. We'll see who they put out on this overtime. It's been Jaden Grant and Ryan O'Hara along with Ben Wozni as of the last couple of weeks. Actually, the last 2 overtimes Bowling Green had was here in the Slater Family Ice Arena. Bemidji State, an overtime winner by Ryan O'Hara, and then a shootout loss with Christian Stover absolutely standing on his head during a 5-goal allowed performance. Got beat twice in the shootout, however. Ben Korek here with Lucas Kleinmeyer. Lucas, your first ever hockey broadcast, and you get an overtime. Exciting stuff here.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Obviously, the Falcons would have wanted to have all 3 points here, but a chance to get an extra big point for the rest of the weekend, because this series can still turn to a success for the Falcons. You get 2 points here, and you have an opportunity tomorrow night against these very Vikings, and you can possibly get another 3, and who knows? Could be a very successful weekend.
Duran, O'Hara, and Wozni out on the ice. Friesen, the forward or the center, I should say, for Augustana, who's going to be in the wheel with Meerman on the right wing. That's 2 of the 3 in the first line, as well as Hayden Hennon, the highest scoring defenseman, as the defender now. And it's 2 false starts against Bowling Green and Augustana. We'll drop a third right here. It'll be won by Augustana and taken back into their zone by Hayden Hennon. Hennon with the puck, almost turns it over. Duran gets his stick on it. It's still 50-50, and it'll be a whistle, and it's going to be a hand pass against Augustana and a face-off in their zone. So every face-off means so much. And 3-on-3, as Lucas, we did our research in a Red Wings Flyers game earlier in the week. You hold on to the puck for quite a long time when you win that.
You do, and the best teams do win the faceoffs and also hold on to the puck and don't turn the puck over, I should say, sorry. And 41 faceoffs won for BG so far this game, and just 25 for Augustana. Been pretty good for BG.
Ryan O'Hara, the overtime winner in the first game against Bemidji State. The other overtime, a shootout loss against Bemidji State. O'Hara takes it all the way in. Back out in the slot, leaves it to Duran. Duran, not much open ice. Hayden Hennon played his body, and now here's a little bit of a breakaway. Pass up to Brett Meerman. Meerman takes it up the right side, right wing. Tries to find a pass, but he didn't have one there and available. He'll take it back out to the blue line and outside the zone, as a change will happen as they'll get a fresh body on the ice as Luke Mobley, the center. Mobley, pass across. Now takes it back, head of steam through center. Defended by Jaden Grant. Jaden Grant loses a step on him. Mobley with a shot, and Stover knocks it away to the half wall, and now the Falcons have the puck back. Big save there by Stover. Zonka and Grant on the ice now. Zonka's earned his way onto this 3-on-3. He's played great shifts so far in this game. Maybe not as much offensive, but he's really earned taking it all the way in. And now a shot as he's pressed down to the ice. And that's going to be a whistle and a stoppage as Luke Mobley really knocked Gustav Sternberg, who went toppling into the half wall. There's going to be no penalty on the play as you hear the boos from the Slater Family Ice Arena.
Yeah, Sternberg got the worst of that one. It looked like both connecting with each other right at the exact same time, and they were both skating into the boards. And Sternberg kind of just hit the ice there, and much to the dismay of the Falcon crowd, nothing will be called.
Scardina and O'Hara, 2 captains on the ice there, with Sternberg, who will surely be at least an alternate next year with how well he's played this year and the leadership that he holds with his Bowling Green team. Scardina in the draw, the best faceoff man for the Falcons today, loses it to Augustana. Nace Langus brings it back around to Baumgartner. Baumgartner with the puck, flips it up to Matsui. Peyton Matsui down the left wing. He doesn't have anybody with him, and he had open ice there for a second and gave it up. Now into Baumgartner. Baumgartner takes it up down the right wing. Now back in. Baumgartner with the puck at the blue line. Now takes it back in. He beats a man. And taken away. Ryan O'Hara down the right wing. He's got a little bit of a breakaway. Trying to beat Kotai. First time today is shot, and he rejects it. Now Baumgartner takes it down as Stjernberg is playing defense on him. Gets a stick on the puck and holds him up. As Stjernberg's got to get off. He's been on for quite a while as he'll go for a change. Now this pass out. Norris plays Matsui. Into center. Langus takes it up, and he's pressed up. Turns it over to Bowling Green. With the puck now, Dalton Norris. Ville Imanen, the center. Takes it up through center. Ben Duran, the other forward with Imanen. Taking it up, looking for a pass. Back out to the blue line. Dalton Norris takes it up the right wing now. Being defended by Brett Meerman. Norris back to Duran. Duran takes it up. 2:25 left to play in the overtime. No score yet through 3 periods and through the first 3 minutes of this overtime frame.
O'Hara's not going to get a much better look than that. Found himself in open ice there. Just couldn't put that one past Kotai, who's just been an absolute wall tonight.
Wasting time getting a new forward is Jaden Grant on the ice now with Niedermeyer and Wozni. Wozni, the lead man, takes it up, stays on sides. He'll have to leave it as he's pressed down to the ice, and it'll be taken away by Colton Friesen. Friesen to Hennon. Hennon takes it up the right wing with $1:50 left to play in the overtime. Left back for Friesen in his own zone. Friesen, a junior, 4 goals, 5 assists this season. Takes it up the left wing. Back across to Hennon. Hennon working in. His shot scores! Hayden Hennon, defenseman with an open shot through the slot. Beats Stover for the first and only time in the game. Bowling Green takes 1 point, but Augustana takes 2 in the overtime winner by Hayden Hennon. His 3rd goal of the season and first game winner by the sophomore defenseman.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there. Hayden Hennon found himself in open space, created a lot of room for himself there, and I didn't think either one of these goaltenders were going to get beaten tonight, but give him credit there. Nice power, good placement on the shot there, and beats Stover.
Josh Kotai completes a shutout with 33 saves. Christian Stover with a 1 goal allowed performance, and he's going to get an overtime loss for it. With his 34 saves, they were both equally as fantastic. And a great shot at the end and a wrister by Hayden Hennon. And Stover has used up the magic that he's had the entire game. Final score 1-0 in overtime. Augustana takes 2. Bowling Green takes 1. We'll unpack it in a few moments. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hey everyone, Zach here. Thank you for listening to 88.1 WBGU FM. Additional information about the station can be found on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram by searching at WBGU FM. There, you can stay up to date on the latest WBGU news or learn about any upcoming radio events in the community. Thank you. Here's Zach, signing off. You're listening to 88.1 WBGU, where we're looking to make radio indie again. From blues and jazz to rock and metal, and even pop and folk, 88.1 WBGU FM features a variety of genres played by our diverse group of DJs. You can expect something different every time you tune in. 88.1 WBGU. Return to Radio Freedom.
Hi, this is Christine Lavin. Please listen to The Folk Show, hosted by my old friend David Sears, Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 and streaming at bgfalconmedia.com.
WBGU 88.1 FM presents Jazz Unlimited. Hello, I'm Mark Zaborny, host of Jazz Unlimited. Join me for a live edition of the program starting at 9 on Wednesday mornings with additional broadcasts on Thursday and Friday. I'll share a mix of jazz compositions from over the years on Northwest Ohio's community radio station and streaming at bgfalconmedia.com.
You are listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Hey everyone, Producer Dada here, reminding you to catch Family Radio right here on WBGU 88.1 FM every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. That's 2 full hours of music, talk, and entertainment for the whole family.
Family Radio 88.1, Go Falcon!
Don't miss Family Radio every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m.
WBGU HD1, Bowling Wheel High.
The BG News is Bowling Green State University's campus newspaper.
It was a wrist shot from between the wheels that Hayden Hedden buried in the overtime with only a minute 36 left to play in the overtime. A absolutely great game played by both Augustana and Bowling Green, but Augustana continues unbeaten against Bowling Green with that overtime win. They're 2-0-1 against the Falcons in their D1 tenure in the CCHA. Ben Korek here with Lucas Kleinmeyer. Lucas, it was a low scoring but a pretty good first game for you at BGSU hockey, I think.
Yeah, it was a great first game, and obviously I think Coach Willie will be upset with the result. Obviously, he still got a point, still goes down as a tie, but the extra point does go to the Vikings. They do have another chance to prove it again tomorrow against the same Augustana team. Good game, very defensive game, and I think that was one of the main keys we had coming into this game was Bowling Green going to need to be able to keep the puck out of the net, and they did just that. They did that in 60 minutes of regulation of hockey, and then obviously goes into overtime, and it's 3v3 on the ice, and unfortunately there, and Stover finally got beat towards the end, and give the Vikings credit. Give Hayden Hennon a lot of credit as well. Find that shot past Stover. Eventually, one of these goaltenders had to have been beaten, and Stover unfortunately got the short end of the stick there because he had an incredible performance, 34 saves. I mean, just fantastic, and unfortunately to go down as a overtime loss on his record.
34 saves, 1 goal allowed. You expect to win those games, but unfortunately the Falcon offense was not good enough to beat the Augustana defense, and the Augustana offense was barely good enough to beat the Falcon defense. It took them 63 minutes and 25 seconds to beat Christian Stover once. His hot streak continues, and Josh Kotais does as well. 33 saves, no goals allowed for a shutout in this game as well. His goals allowed on average is going to drop like a rock after this game, which is good for Kotai. He really deserves it so far. Colton Friesen had the assist on the Hayden Hennon goal that he pretty much was undefended in. The Falcon defense was a little bit off step there. It's one of the few miscues for the defense today, but it was a mixture of a couple of things, and I think it was more or less time for a goal to be scored in this game as we were 63 minutes and 25 seconds in with nothing happening. Again, Bowling Green loses to Augustana in overtime 1-0, but they dominated in certain aspects of the game. They were pretty even in shots and shots on goal, within 2 in both departments. They led in faceoffs 1 and had a lot of those coming in overtime and on the power plays, 42-26. Ethan Scardina had 12-8, and Jaden Grant had 12-5. Both of them were great in this game. Ben Duran also 11-6. Ryan O'Hara 4-0. Billy Emanen didn't have a great day in the wheel, 3 wins to 5 losses, but Bowling Green, with their 2 penalties, played a pretty clean game in the wheels and doing a good job of staying out of the box as well.
They did, and a couple of players that really stood out to me was Struenberg after that early penalty. Led the team in shots, had 5 shots on goal, and I think he bounced back throughout the game. Scardina was the enforcer on this team, this game. I mean, just setting the tone every time he skated on into the ice. Ben Duran, I think Ryan O'Hara also had a couple of good looks as well in the game, and Jaden Grant as well was another player that really impressed me as well. Brett McKinley in the first period or so was good as well. And then obviously, if you had to pick player of the game, I think it would have to be Christian Stover. Despite getting up the goal, he was sensational, and between the pipes. And yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because I do think they play good. Obviously, the Vikings are. This is a very good Augustana team, and you're going to meet them again tomorrow, and you're going to meet them again probably in the CCHA Mason Cup tournament. And it's unfortunate there that just you play 60 minutes of hockey, really good hockey, defensive hockey. You just can't quite break through in the goal, and unfortunately there the Vikings come back the other way and win. But if they want to be at the top of the CCHA, if they want to win the CCHA, they're going to have to beat these teams. They're going to get into these close affairs where one big chance is going to ultimately decide the outcome of the game. But give the Vikings credit. They took their chance and they buried it.
They certainly did. And, Bowling Green, it's a very dissimilar field than what we had in the Bemidji State series, where we felt like they blew 2 leads to go into overtime, a 4-2 and a 3-0 in the second game, and then also a 3-2 lead in the first game as well that they were forced into overtime. This game, it feels like they played even with Augustana, and they were just 2 evenly matched teams that in the end came down to a pretty good wrist shot and a beat of Christian Stover for the first time in the game. So with that game finished, Bowling Green has 17 games left to they played 17 games in the CCHA, scored 30 points. They're 1 point behind Michigan Tech, who's also played 17 games, and 5 points behind Minnesota State, who did not take a point today, but they've also had 17 games played. Augustana has now I believe they're up to, I don't think it's updated, I think they're at 21 points through 9 games played. They could possibly still be at 18. I don't know about the CCHA website. And then Lake Superior State is 6 points behind Bowling Green in what will be after tomorrow 2 less games played. So it's getting tight at the top. Lake Superior State, Bowling Green, and Michigan Tech, and some Augustana as well, really fighting for the spots that they can earn. And Minnesota State, I'm sure, is going to get a win tomorrow after their loss against Ferris State today. So Bowling Green and Augustana played tight match, lost 1-0 in overtime. Bowling Green did. Lucas Kleinmeyer, Ben Korak on the call. Lucas, your first ever BGSU hockey broadcast. Anything you want to say after it's all said and done?
Yeah, my final takeaway, I think, for the game is I think Bowling Green should take a lot from this game until tomorrow. I think they need to have the same recipe for this game. I think they just need to ultimately find the net first. Like I said on top of the broadcast, this is a Vikings team that's only given up 19 goals this season in the CCHA, I believe. And, you see why. You see why from Kotai. You see why the way the defensemen play. You just see it. They're a very, very good team, and they're going to make you pay. They're going to make you pay on the other end, and hopefully Bowling Green can get that early goal, maybe in the first period, maybe even the second period sometime. Get that goal, play with the lead, because if they play defensively how they did this game with the lead, I do think they have a very good chance of beating Augustana tomorrow. My last other thought, we mentioned at the intermission report, Rick and Marta Crow, the late Marta Crow, I should say, the entire Crow family as well, for sponsoring us this year, helping us get back on the road with BGSU hockey. We took a little bit of break last year, helping my good partner here to the left get on the road with hockey and get to travel with all these places up into Michigan, Minnesota, and wherever they'll be playing. We really appreciate it. It helps us out, helps us students out, helps everyone in Falcon Media Sports Network out so much in traveling. And on behalf of Falcon Media Sports Network, as sports content director, we say thank you. I know Ben talks about it all the time on the broadcasts as well. We're really appreciative, and this is the first time I've had the chance to say thank you on air with the mic, and really appreciate Rick Crow for helping us all out, along with the late Marta.
Yeah, certainly thank you to Rick Crow, and it's good that we get to honor the memory of Marta Crow, such a avid listener and such a great BGSU hockey fan as well. Taking into a lighter tone, Pick the Stick, we didn't mention before. Unfortunately, the 3 of us that pick every single day did not land any of our picks. Brody Waters, Ben Duran, and Ryan O'Hara, obviously no goals scored, didn't get any points today, but Holden Ruck chose Christian Stover, who only gave up 1 goal in the overtime, so he finished with 2 points in today's game, played great in today's game. Holden really deserves this win. It's his second win in Pick the Stick this season, and in the pool of the Falcon Media Sports Network, aside from Lucas Tyler and myself, he currently, the pool of Falcon Media Sports Network currently sits at 3 in third place behind Lucas. You're 4.5 points. I'm at 3.5, and they sit at 3 with Tyler rounding it out at 2. Not a lot of luck going Tyler's way today, but hopefully Pick the Stick will have a higher scoring affair tomorrow in the game against Augustana.
You don't always win the battle, but you win the war sometimes. Yeah. Right now, I'm winning the war, but we'll see by the end of the season.
We'll see how it finishes by the end of the season. Bowling Green loses to Augustana 1-0 in overtime. Amazing to say that, 1-0 in overtime. Player of the game for Augustana, Hayden Hennon, played a great game defensively with the overtime winner as well. And then Bowling Green, as Lucas Kymar designated Christian Stover as the player of the game for Bowling Green. I forget how many saves he had, somewhere in the realm of 34.
It's in the
I'm not
30s.
mistaken, 34 saves and 1 goal allowed. Fantastic stuff from Christian Stovers. Thank you to Lucas and Tyler for allowing us to broadcast all BGSU hockey games. Rick Crow for sponsoring our hockey games as well. Lucas, you're calling another game tomorrow. You want to plug that game right now?
Mentioned it during the broadcast. BGSU Women's Basketball Part 1 of the Battle of I-75 at the Savage Arena. We'll have pregame. I'll be alongside Kate and Nat for the call starting at 1:45 p.m. with tip-off at 2 p.m. Head coach Fred Shamil looking for that big win over the Rockets for the first time in his BG career, but also BG getting a huge MAC win on the road. Should be fun.
Should definitely be fun. Definitely tune into this station, WBGU 88.1 FM. And then tomorrow we're going to have a 30-minute earlier game, a normal time game against Augustana here again in the Madhouse on Mercer at 7 o'clock. I will be on the call with Nathan Burkett tomorrow, and I'm really hoping, Lucas, that you can get on the call with me later in the season. Maybe a playoff game. Maybe we'll have a home playoff game that you can say you're for. So definitely hoping for that. BGFalconMedia.com, BG_FMSN. That's where you can find the recap of today's game. And the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel is where you can find the highlights of today's game between Bowling Green and Augustana. Probably pretty soon, I would imagine tomorrow or the day after. Ben Korak here with Lucas Kleinmeyer from the Falcon Media Sports Network. You are listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, your home for BGSU hockey.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.